Live? I believe we are live here with We Play Games. Alright, so welcome back to We Play Games. I'm Walker, and here we are in Age of Wonders 4, about to do a how to play Age of Wonders 4 multiplayer. This video is going to be like a collaboration with Nemki here. You can talk to Nemki. He's going to be in our chat just in a moment, Hubert, but we're going to be talking basically through how to practice for multiplayer in single player. That's going to be really the core of this, more than like how to actually play multiplayer. But because there are lots of really great tools that exist for single player to actually practice for multiplayer, I think that a video like this is going to be helpful to people, right? If you just want to test a build out at home and you don't have any friends around right now, I'm gonna show you guys how to do that in just a moment. And we're gonna be doing it with the help of Nemki. So I think the basic way that we're going to probably end up breaking this down, I have like 1,300 hours, and I think Nemki is like 150 or something like that. So what I'm planning on doing is that it's going to be mostly like Nemki tells us what he knows, and then I'll go through and sort of like either, you know, fill in a couple of blanks, or if there's something that's, you know, missing some context, provide that. But I think that's going to be more fun and more useful for everybody. But we're going to be playing with a build that we might just end up introducing it once we get there. But we'll be playing with a build that we designed with the help of Gian at the end of one of Nemki's last streams. But we will be talking through a lot of different things that you might not even be thinking about when it comes to the game. Like, for instance, you might not be thinking all that much about the map settings when it comes to the game, and I do think that that is one of the first and most important conversations that you have to have with yourself when it comes to practice for multiplayer, or even just like playing the game generally, because unfortunately the map settings in Age of Wonders 4 are kind of descriptively complex and I think deceptive in some ways, which we will be talking about in just a moment here. So let me check in on Nemki and see how he's doing, if he's ready to kick this thing off. Yo, Nemki, are you ready to start rocking and rolling?
Yeah, just 2 seconds. I was just gonna post in the Age of Wonders Discord.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I posted one too, but I think it'll be fun to see him back to back.
Okay. All right, I'll do that. Live coaching stream. I'm just gonna tag you, and that'll be even funnier.
Good. So Nemki, we do also have a question from my chat for you already. Have you ever used the Phase Beast off of the Tome of Teleportation?
I love the Phase Beast. It's one of the coolest units, actually. But I know that the phasing is like dumb for auto or something, right? That's a thing, right?
It's partially that. It has. You're right that it's very powerful. It's a really great assassin, like excellent at killing enemy leadership structures, and it used to be really OP when it had a one action phase. But the more that you play with it, the more that you'll get screwed by RNG on the displacement effect. It's law of large numbers. You're gonna get screwed eventually. And there have been a lot of cases where it's just like RNG'd me to death, and so you have to ask yourself, is this worth the risk?
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I'm still like, I'm only like 150 hours in, and honestly, a lot of that is like 1v1s to like just like climb up my pantheon, you know? Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
I was listening to your stream, I just realized.
Oh, yeah, that'll make it complicated.
Yeah. All right.
So I do apologize here for the form. We are going to have to be streaming in Discord, but I think this will be good. Yeah, I think this is actually just going to be a really fun, like, kind of icebreaker, and just a great way to have a conversation about the game. So let's go to Create a Realm, and then let me ask you, Nemki, first, what difficulty do you usually play on? And then 2, do you know what that difficulty does?
Do I know what it does? No. But I play on hard if I want a good time, and then brutal if I want a bad time.
Okay. You know, that's a great way to start. So, like, can you describe descriptively, are there any patterns you've noticed that are different between hard or brutal or normal? Like, anything you've observed on the board?
I've only done brutal twice, and I don't think I finished, but, like, I just don't think I continued with the campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
Brutal to me just seems like the AI has excess money and excess everything. Really, is like the most I have noticed is like all of a sudden they have a full army again. All of a sudden they have full army again. Like over and over is what I've noticed the most about my little experience in the game. But
So rather than just like, starting here and jumping off, I think the right thing to do is for us to actually get a good baseline. So let's actually see what the difficulty slider does. Then we can talk through the implications of it, because it's more complicated than it looks. It's really weird. This is probably the worst button in Age of Wonders 4. So let's start on normal and click advanced settings.
okay.
So the main thing that difficulty is going to be modifying are a couple of different things. The first thing it's going to be changing, go to your factions tab.
Okay.
So here,
Have some stuff first.
yeah, this is the first thing that we'll see and we'll confirm when we go over to hard or brutal. But the first thing that it's going to be adjusting is AI difficulty, and then once you get up to brutal, it'll be adjusting a handicap. But you'll note that at these different difficulty levels, they'll get different economic bonuses, and then of course, like the different handicaps will give them military bonuses. But because of the intersection between military and economy, military bonuses are really good for the AI. It's really good. So that's part of what difficulty adjusts. This is actually the thing that adjusts difficulty overall in comparison to the other empires. This is going to sound a strange question, Nemki, but I'm curious how much you've thought of this. If you had to describe difficulty, what would you describe it as? Like, how, not in this game, just like generally, what makes a game harder?
I mean, I guess what makes a game harder, that's pretty subjective based on the game, right?
It really is. I would define it for myself, for instance, that anything that reduces my win percentage is an increase in difficulty.
That's a nice way to look at it. I agree with that, yeah.
So the other part of this, the other thing that hard and brutal does, let's go to game flow.
Okay.
The other thing that hard and brutal does, the thing that is complex and causes a lot of hangups for newer players, is that it's going to be adjusting starting conditions and world threat. These, in turn, are symmetrical effects. So starting conditions on normal is normal. This is where you'll start with a support unit and 300 gold. This is what we normally do in multiplayer, so that way people have armies that are useful at the beginning of the game instead of just like a bunch of tier 1s and scouts.
Makes sense.
When you're playing, we'll see this in brutal in just a moment, but there are different settings there. The other big thing that is going to be changed here is world threat, which we'll talk through when we actually see brutal loaded up. But world threat is the thing that is, I think, the most deceptive out of all of these when it comes to difficulty. So let's go back and load up brutal as the difficulty, and then just see,
Sure.
what looks different. Just click cancel. Yeah, and then
Okay. So minor advantages.
it's minor advantages, but it's also on very hard. So very hard is the descriptor for economic bonuses, and then advantage is the descriptor for military.
Gotcha. Then high world threat, hard starting conditions.
So here's the issue. Here's the real issue when it comes to difficulty in Age of Wonders 4. Brutal is not, from like my description of difficulty, brutal is not remotely close to the highest difficulty level in Age of Wonders 4, and in some ways actually is easier than some of the other settings. World Threat High. Do you know what World Threat High does?
Well, just looking at what it says now, I have a slight idea,
So World Threat High, they would need a paragraph here to really tell you everything,
Yeah.
but the biggest thing that it does is it makes it so that early game fights are more dangerous, but mid and late game fights are more productive because there's more units everywhere. Where do you get experience points from? You get them from fighting. Where do you get like resources for your economy from? You get it from fighting heroes. There are meaningfully more heroes on high world threat than there are on normal, like way more of them just littered around guarding resource nodes and things. And so when people are like looking at how to set up a game for Age of Wonders 4 and they just like click on Brutal assuming that it's the highest difficulty level. First, we can even just go back to factions and confirm that, like, mechanically, Brutal is obviously not the highest difficulty level, because you can make this a major advantage instead of a minor advantage if you want, and you can make yourself a major handicap. So Brutal is, like, not close to the highest difficulty level to begin with, but then it also has these complications where, because starting conditions and world threat are symmetrical effects, if they're helping you more than they're helping the AI, or if they're hurting you less than they're hurting the AI, they actually increase your win percentage. So let's actually, yeah, it's very goofy, but let's set up the map for essentially a multiplayer. So we do not want to be in Brutal. I think Brutal is just slow. I don't think it really adds any difficulty. How many players, like, you want to? I think you should play with Diplomacy on. So if you do 2, it'll automatically do teams. I think 3 is fine. And then let's go into advanced settings. Sure, whatever size. Like, I'm not expecting we'll finish today. I think we're just gonna play and learn. You can add whatever realm traits you want to. I don't think that's the most interesting part of the game. I think there are some realm traits that are more difficult to make work for fun. I think Curse of Undeath and Mega Cities are things that I would recommend against, because those are pretty rough for just going for it. Free cities are very good right now, Hubert, because of the power of Rally of the Lieges. You could do randomly, or you just go with blank. Like that's a good way for you to start practicing. Basically what I want to do, Nemki, is set it up so that you can practice for multiplayer in single player on your own time. That's what I want to give you, right?
Yeah, that's a good
Don't worry about realm traits. If you want to add a couple for fun, go crazy. But for now, let's just do blank. Let's go to factions. Yeah,
like a
land or Pangea or divide, that's fine. But there are some changes that you need to make on factions, game flow, and combat. That's where you're going to create something that's going to be useful for PvP practice. So in factions, I recommend pretty strongly playing on AI difficulty at a minimum of hard. I think if you want the full experience of playing against an enemy AI that's very good, I would go up to brutal. But hard is, I think, fine, is just a good practice, because the most important thing is auto-resolve. So the next thing, let's go to game flow.
Okay.
Here, the most important thing is not actually the top part, it's the bottom part. So scroll down.
The bottom part, sorry.
Yeah. So here, hero resurgence, never, and then defeated hero's owner. This is never especially as important for hero resurgence, because this means it's risky to bring low HP heroes to fights, and then defeated heroes going to owner means that now you can't just fight a hero a couple of times and get an infinite amount of EXP. Other than that, I think everything else you can kind of just leave as is. Even if you want to like leave manual battles on, one thing that I do a lot is I'll leave manuals on, and then I'll just click the auto resolve button in combat, so then I can watch it like it's an auto battler, and I think that's fun.
I like that.
So yeah, like this is all modability. It's just that if you want to practice for multiplayer, don't manual combats against the map.
Fair enough. I like it. Good?
All right. Yeah, I think we're good. So Nemki, do you wanna talk through our build?
Sure, we can.
I think you know it. I think you know it.
Well, first we have to introduce who we made. You won't know who we made. This is brand new. This is I came up with this unbelievable custom race. I just want everyone to see it. Learnzo Big Brain. Because
He's
that's what
got
we're
it.
going to do. We're gonna learn and we're gonna get a big brain. Easy.
So also, our alignment
So,
good, finally viable. No,
the
evil's still much
environment, so we
better.
have access to. I mean, the tone's just amazing, as we've discussed quite a few times. But you know, the highlights of it is we have the Snow Spirit, we have Blizzard. You know, there's just a lot of good things within this tome that I think will help. I mean, my last multiplayer experience was on Feudal, and I'm sure
Yeah,
that your
it's
chat knows.
the hardest. It's
Yeah,
unfortunate that you were there.
Yeah.
But I think you'll have a much easier time with literally anything else. Feudal is very difficult.
The race name is also the Weisenheimers. Thank you. I know. Pretty creative.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So whatever, not a lot of the halfling matters, but athletics I think will benefit me a lot because of movement. I probably am not going to have the best movement in terms of efficiency, so I think having a little extra movement is good for me. Herbivore for another thing to heal, and you said that it was quite, that the AI used it pretty well. And I watched a video. Well, I watched one of my
It loves using it. Whether it uses it well is questionable, but it loves it. Yeah, it spams it.
My one shieldman ran away to go heal, then came back and hit the same guy. I was like, okay,
yeah. Okay.
So we'll do high here, and we're gonna go with the Throne City. So all cities that join up with the Throne City will give me stability and bonus income. And then Druidic Terraform was kind of a similar idea in that sense, that just extra income, everything's still kind of grinding it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's a good place. You ready to go?
Look at the big brain. Oh,
yeah. What a spooky boy.
All right. Let's see it. Let's see how it goes.
So Nemki, what I'm gonna propose that we do here is that you play through turn 1 and tell me what you're thinking about, how you're thinking about it, all of these things, and then we'll go back and we'll reload it and we'll play through turn 1 again. Because it's very easy to do it on the same map because it creates a start. So teach me, help me know what you're thinking about. Yeah. Let me eat your brain and read your thoughts.
All right. The inside my brain aspect. Here we go. Okay, so basically my initial appearance, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I don't scout the map a lot as far as like looking around for like, I mean, hey, we found the tree, you know?
No, that's a great place to start, Nemki, actually.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is scouting the fog. There are a lot of people who just aren't even aware that that's a part of the game. Like, there are a lot of people who don't even know that exists.
Who truthfully, I'm doing it for you guys to show that I'm not a complete noob.
Yeah, no. I don't think you have to go crazy on it, but I think it is a useful thing to do.
100%.
Look for a banner or something nearby.
You know, there's obviously infestation over there, right? The watchtowers are a big thing that you can kind of see out in the distance, going and claiming those. You know, it's just kind of...
Yeah.
You can see the banners on the cities.
You can see banners on cities, but it would be actually usually look for windmills. But by banners, I mean like the level up banners. If you see like a helmet with wings standing on a random thing, which I did see a banner somewhere around here. I think it was a little south of that. But if you happen, yeah, there's one. Like that's so do you know what a banner does?
No, I have no idea.
Oh. So it's a full level up when you walk onto it, and managing a banner is one of the like, I would say advanced or intermediate advanced things, but we'll get to that when we get to one.
Gotcha. So in this situation, I would probably, can I handle a Hound Master? That would be my first kind of thought process. This all looks doable. What do we have anyways? Storm Spirit. I feel like our army's not insanely strong, but I would probably run over to this creature cage first to see what we get.
Do it. Like I'm happy for us.
As I go?
Yeah.
Okay,
tell me what you're thinking about and what you're looking for, right?
Okay, sounds good. So first off, I would probably run through here, grab the creature cage, see what we got. We got a little lesser tide spirit. I'll probably have him now, so we don't waste movement. He can kind of rejoin the army a little bit. Staff of Decay, it's whatever.
Now,
it doesn't really help us a lot.
Have you thought at all about the value of the different things you get out of the creature cages?
Of what I could have gotten? I mean, I don't know.
Or just what you got, right? Not. I don't think that there's a point in like saying I really want to get X, Y, or Z, but like once you've realized the outcome, do you care, or is it just it's a unit to get stuff?
I mean, depending on what I did get, I would probably be like, okay, well, this is a unit I'm just going to use to scout the map. This is a unit I should level up and kind of push towards. That'd be kind of my initial thought process of where I would go with it. But that's probably honestly where it ends for me.
that's reasonable.
Not much beyond that, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I would probably continue out with my scout and follow the road a little bit here. Yeah, we see that was there. Looks like the map's not super full. What's that? An oasis. Okay. Then I would probably consider, because I am newer to Autoresolve, I probably would use my Storm Spirit in this battle because I'm not confident that I know what is strong enough to take out this battle. But I don't think this battle is overly scary. He will obviously, it actually is a 4 stack. So I would probably fight this, and I probably would bring my Lesser Spirit in here, my Water Spirit, only because I'd be worried about what we lose out. It's also on a production tab too, so I feel like we should pick our thing first. So here's where I always get my biggest dilemma is I value city growth a lot, and I don't know if that's a correct way to look at things, but I like expanding. I always have in games. So I usually put down a forester first. There's the odd time where I'm like, okay, I have more of a magic like scale in mind, so I'd forester yet again, right? But on top of that, farm is also my next thing. Like these sheep are pretty appealing to me right now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go.
Yeah, don't worry about, like, I think the right thing, just play it out the way you would normally, and then we'll load the game again and play it out slightly differently.
Sure. I'll say what I'm doing still, just so it's not boring for everybody, but then I'll actually make the moves rather than talk about them. All right, our first one. So pretty clean. I also expanded my territory in this direction because I thought it would be a nice. I could maybe go fight that. What value are we getting here? I think I can fight that as well. Part of me, is this in the radius? It is. I would probably risk this second fight as well, honestly, and I think I would. Sure. Is potentially I might lose the Sun Priest here. Oh, we're actually out of range. I could stack to go get it though. I probably will. Very clean. I like the start so far. Okay, so since we got our Forester up, I would plop down the Shrine now that it is boosted. And I would probably queue up, what's in our army right now? Let me just double check here. I'd probably queue up probably just a Dawn Defender.
His voice is a little soft. Let me see if I can get him to turn it up anymore, or maybe music down.
Actually would help us. A White Witch seems meh, and Frostblades are kind of in the same direction here.
Is that a little better, Tiger Eye?
We've already leveled up. Okay. Level up.
So
wise,
yeah, level up 1. What are you looking at here?
I'm still not super confident in everything. I don't value the Wisp because I feel like it's a unit that's like a replaceable unit later on, so I don't really value that. But Delirium is probably one of my favorites, but somebody told me that it doesn't work great early or something like that. I don't know. So I'd probably go for the Eldritch Rituals first.
So I think it's not inappropriate to like take Delirium and then observe it for your own evil science, just to like see the actual problem. So that way you're not just, like guessing at it, because there is a problem with it, but it's one that is potentially pseudo-fixable. All right, so I think that looks like a good setup for turn 1. So let's load it back up. So if you just go to like load game, there should be the game start right there, and then we can see what else is possible.
I did my best. I'm answering your chat too. I did my best for a small body, but that was as small as I could go. Sadly. No.
Yeah, and some of the character design options. Have you seen like the biggest dragon you can build and stuff?
Yeah, it's great.
It's so goofy.
So
that I think there were some things that I think I wouldn't have changed at all. I think it was definitely correct for you to send that scout south to that small creature cage. I think that's an important thing. The first thing, of course, with an Imperialist is that you do start with 1 extra population. The reason this matters is that any friendly territory, your units will not only heal in, but they'll also move faster through. So this means you can use population as like an addition on top of roads to make it so your dudes can clear way faster. So just be aware that where you put the population does influence where folks can move on the map. I don't think that there's not a reason to go north with the population, and so you don't have to send it south with your pony. But yeah, just let's go grab that creature cage.
Okay. Is it always the same?
Yep, it's gonna be the same. So the as long as it's on the same seed. So Tide Spirit, the first thing that you probably should know about all of the things is that your inclination of not really caring is totally correct. You shouldn't care about these units at all until they get to at least like elite rank, because they're just gonna die. If you get emotionally invested in them, they're gonna die like a Rattata and a Nuzlocke, I promise. So you're right, just don't care about that one. That was, sometimes I'll ask you like pseudo trap questions, but I think you managed the scout correctly going down south. So let's go ahead do that. Generally, I think that also when you do the scouting around the fog thing, if something like this emerges, you notice that there's an infestation there, right? Yeah, so like sometimes it's correct to just face check that. So like you have that Tide Spirit, right? I would send that Tide Spirit maybe something like that just to see what it is, because you have enough units north. If you didn't have a 5th unit, then you might want to bring that Tide Spirit back, but just keep sending it. Like scouting and map presence and information is super important, because fighting one infestation is way more value than building a building. Just way more value, and that's one infestation. So don't be afraid to use extra units that you have as scouts. So yeah, like send him off to that tower. Yeah. And also that's a pretty solid scout because it can float. And so it just has and on land, so it has a floating movement type. Do you know what floating does?
Difficult terrain is no longer difficult, from what I recall. Wow. Okay.
This is the most important.
In this game, it's a little bit different than just like that. That's a
yeah.
very general statement I made, but it's the movement, obviously.
It's the movement points. Yeah. And the way that influences where you can go.
Yeah, I always equate that to like they're better at moving versus in this they're actually gaining movement points, right? Like it is quite different. But,
yeah, it's a force multiplier on movement, effectively. So the fights here, you have a Houndmaster and 2 Wyverns, and you have a Wild Speaker and 2 Slithers. Is that correct? Oh, 2 birds. So the birds are, just open those bad boys up and you'll see if you do any type of lightning damage, these are way easier fights, right? This is because of that -4 lightning weakness. But because you don't have that and they're ethereal, that's actually the harder fight. And it's because ethereal damage type means that they have 2 extra toughness. So it's actually better to go to that one first. So the other thing is, how many units do you bring to this fight? Here, so there are a couple of things you want to change for your evaluation on that fight. First, it's not just the risk, it's also the reward. What do you get for fighting that stack with 5 units rather than 4?
The experience.
The experience gets better concentrated. You're not, you're not wasting it on other units. So I think what you want to do here, research either Blizzard or Snow Spirit first. I think that generally Snow Spirit is better to get first, and it's better to shuffle to it if you have mana, but you don't have extra mana. So now open your main stack, click on your archer, and just your archer goes down to that artifact.
Okay.
So you want to split your stacks up whenever you can, because it'll just help you do engagements.
So we can save our movement a little bit.
Potentially, but you're so send actually.
Should just be a scout.
Hold on to the archer for now. Hold on to the archer for now. Take. Oh, I was not using my push to talk. I was this is not holding down alt. Take your Dawn Defender. Use your Dawn Defender here as an engager, because you're gonna have access to Draft Ritual, which means that if your Dawn Defender dies, no problem. Wait, no. Nemki, which was the easier fight? Which was the easier fight? You want to go to the easier fight first.
first.
right? You want to go the easier fight first, but don't worry about it. I don't think it's going to be a huge difference, but always try to identify the easier fight and do it first. So here, I think you can still do this one without it being a problem. I don't think you need to bring anybody else in. So get to maximum, well, and the Dawn Defender, get to the maximum reinforcement range. So where can you stand to be? No. Well, you can, yeah, whatever. You can do it in whatever order. It doesn't really matter.
No.
But you need to, you also want to get good at, like, only starting fights with individual units, ideally, most of the time.
For movement purposes is
It's
the main
huge.
reason?
It's huge for movement purposes. And most importantly, the reason that it's good for you is that it'll save you HP on your heroes by allowing them to take fights, take some damage, and then run back and heal. So like here, either the Sun Priest or the Ruler. The Ruler is a floating movement type, and so we'll have more movement total.
Gotcha.
So here, I would just leave the spells on. I think you probably can take this without any losses. I'd be honestly pretty surprised. You've got 2 melee. You might lose the Storm Spirit, but unlikely. Yep. So here, the next step is that because you didn't bring that extra unit, the EXP was concentrated, and you got to level 2. So how much EXP do you need in a fight to get to level 2 on a Ruler?
I don't even know that. I guess 10 would be my guess based off this.
Oh, well, you're at 4 out of 10 now. You're at 4 out of 10 now.
I guess I would have got. Is it 10 every level though? I guess that would be my question.
No, it scales up. It scales up.
It does?
So the first level requires 4 EXP.
Okay.
But the question then isn't just that I need 4 EXP, it's how do I get to 4 EXP, right? Because it divides through everyone. And so if you see a fight where you get like 14 experience points or above, you really want to make sure that you take that fight with 4 units if you can, because that's a guaranteed first level.
Gotcha. Okay.
So here, I would take Eldritch Rituals if I were playing this myself. I love Mesmerizing Draft Ritual right now. It's so hot right now. It's definitely Hansel.
All right. So
And then I think you can still take that fight. Yep. And you can also see that just if you stand where the Dawn Defender was, then you're inside reinforcement.
You think this is still enough to take this?
I think that's still enough, and part of the reason why, let's watch this fight.
Sure, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's watch the fight. So, what do you expect is going to happen on turn 1?
Can we manual and then auto?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
auto.
absolutely,
Yeah, let's do
absolutely. That's that's the way I like to do it at home. I think it's fun, right? It's like an auto battler.
Yeah.
So one of the things that people often get hung up on is like, oh my god, I can't bring a unit to this fight because it's at half HP.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Click auto.
All right.
If it's the only injured unit, the unit will heal itself. And so there, your unit was effectively at full HP for the entire fight, right?
Yes. Yep. So far, the AI is performing in a lot of how I would actually. I mean,
Yeah.
not everything, but like I would have done a lot of this. Mind controlled something just to take it off the field. Freeze something else. Oh, I might have frozen something because that wouldn't have mattered.
Oh.
But
You know, I underestimated you in this fight also. I missed something. You have a Storm Spirit, which deals lightning damage. This actually probably was the easier fight.
you're right. It could have been. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it mattered. Because one thing you'll notice, I'm sure you already have Nemki, but for folks at home, Autoresolve is not nearly as random as you would think. It is still random. There are still times where you get hosed by the AI doing stupid stuff, but like 90% of the time you can fix that by just like stop hurting your Autoresolve AI, give it things it understands. It's only 3.5 years old. You can't expect it to read chapter books. And so just like give it healing and random buff tools and it'll usually perform pretty well for you.
100%. I actually, the Storm Spirit might be my favorite spirit.
It happens, Blue Saturday. It does. Like,
Either
I don't
way.
want to lie to people, but you can
Exactly, it's just-
seriously
it's
decrease that.
So hard.
Yeah, it's the Storm Spirit is one of these things that I'm really bullish on potentially in the future, because normally it was super glassy and just died all of the time, but now it scales up its HP so much that maybe it will last a little longer here. So I'm gonna blow your mind in regards to like tile placement. I think that you can make an argument for Tudor Town not to grab the tile directly north of it, but northeast, and it's for movement and healing purposes. Even if you're not getting like slightly more widgets, yeah. So the one to the left, the one that has a mine, that gives you 10 extra gold per turn to take it instead of the one to the right. What this means, what this means in it's about replacing value, right? If by going to the one to the right, you lose one fewer tier 1 unit because you get to heal faster and move faster, that saves you 60 gold and X amount of draft in comparison to taking the gold one first. So this is like, it really depends a lot on what you're sacrificing, right? If that were a production thing, then I'd be more interested in it. But gold is one of the most plentiful resources in the game. So I think, can you see if that pasture to the right of your Dawn Defender is guarded?
Oh, this one?
Yeah, it
Occupied.
is. So what does that mean?
There's a unit on it for us to battle.
Oh, Autoresolve's the best way to play the game.
Is that what
Yeah,
you were asking?
and
Okay.
when you fight it, you'll get food, right?
Okay.
So when you fight things, you're not getting just random resources. You're typically getting the resource that it creates. And in this case, getting a bunch of extra food early is good. But rather than saying, oh, I want food early, therefore I'll build a storehouse or I'll take a farm, just kill pastures. It's way faster. It's so much faster. It's crazy. So the other thing, let's adjust building here a little bit. So take that tile, the northeast tile, yeah, that one as a farm.
Okay.
The reason I like to do this is to start the boost on your workshop equivalent,
Okay.
like the artisan workshop. Oh shoot! Oh my God, you're high. You're high. It's a quarry. Oh my goodness,
You've gotten
that's
hit
okay.
then?
No, it's that you still have a quarry there on the farm. I'm so used to playing with like non-high, but I don't think it matters. If this had been a quarry, that would have been the right thing to do. You can still take it as artisan workshop. You basically, workshops have always been the best starting infrastructure in the game for basically everybody. They did recently nerf it down to 5 draft instead of 10, but you can still just like add widgets together, right? 8 plus 5 is 13. All these other buildings give you 10 stuff. And that doesn't even count the stability bonus, right? You get stability bonuses through, so I would just take the workshop anyway. It'll cost you a tiny amount of production to build it without a boost. You shouldn't do it, and I should have been paying better attention, but it's fine. You'll do perfectly fine as long as you have good autos. So
You
just
got
take,
draft from the
yeah, we got
thing.
draft from the pickup.
Yeah.
I would just take another Dawn Defender. They're really good. They're great units.
And you value melee units more. Like same tier, you kind of value melee units more because the range can kind of run into a worse positioning. Is that kind of like
Yes.
a
Yeah.
general assumption?
The ranged pieces, because they're so easily countered in melee, they kind of require the help and support of other units to function well. So as your army gets bigger, you can use more of them. But when an army is really, really small and there are very few units to protect each other, you're gonna have your ruler, and hopefully you're gonna have your support unit because it didn't die, which means that if you only have 2 other slots in that army for the easy fights, they can't be ranged pieces, right? Like, especially if your ruler is an Eldritch Sovereign, you need some idiot to just stand in front. And so it's partially that, and it is partially that generally the melee units just function better at smaller sizes.
So would you go towards this? Is this a fight
Absolutely.
we can
I don't know if
consider
are we in range to take that fight this turn? Can we do that? Do we have movement on anyone? Like, if we broke off a floater, could we get there? Like, just click on the Storm Spirit. Just the Storm Spirit. No, we don't. Okay, that's fine. Then we can just,
them to
yeah,
here?
just move them over there. Yeah, somewhere over there, and they'll heal, and they'll have plenty of extra movement, and your 4 should be able to come back and heal.
Health up a
Yeah.
little bit? Yeah.
Yep. And then here, if you had lost, the reason we didn't move the archer is that if you had lost one of those units in those fights, then I would want the archer around. But now because you didn't, you can scout with it. So send that buddy northwest or something, like just a completely different direction from everybody else to just look for stuff. But generally, don't build like actual honest to god scouts unless you're playing as industrious or maybe barbarian. Just build tier 1 units and use them as scouts. Oh, and draft ritual, baby. That stuff is so good.
Yeah.
It's the best, man. Like, you just do it twice at the beginning of the game, and it's effectively like plus 600 gold in terms of what it would give you versus rushing stuff.
I guess we picked up some draft too, but that is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so
you're gonna
that's
get
our turn there.
3 extra dudes. Yeah, I think that's a great first turn. Oh, except that this is the real honest to god skill check for Walker that I always fail. Do you know what we forgot to do?
What?
We forgot to put the Whispering Stone in our capital.
Oh, you're
I don't think I ever not forget to do that on turn 1. It doesn't matter for most people, but High likes stability.
Yeah, high does. So I'd probably do this because this is the less
absolutely
mattering thing.
So that's important to see because that's gold. But it's also important to see because those are nature. Nature is notorious for having things that hide. You cannot assume that that is only 2 spiders. You should stand next to it. Just to confirm, there might be an Entwined Thrall, there might not be.
Oh, so see, I never knew how that works. So if I was to stand next to this.
Yes, when you stand next to it, you see they're invisible. Yep.
I did not know that actually.
And the same thing here, like, it's unlikely that there are Entwined Thralls in either of these groups, but either you could check that, or you could go north to the mana node. I think either one of those is actually valuable.
Yeah, I think we got enough information that when we come over here, it probably won't matter if there's...
Oh, like those spiders, I would be amazed if there isn't a thrall there.
Entwined, yeah. Entwined Thralls. How early do you like to go underground? Because
you should face check it.
Do. Yeah,
like just it costs you just very few movement points to just go down and then back up, right? This costs you 6 movement points to see an ancient wonder. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you evaluate the magic materials?
Magic materials? I like to pop down. Oh, are you saying like which ones I value more or?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know this is wrong, but I do actually value like resources more. So like I'm talking like gold and like things like that. But obviously I'm now learning that I think draft is high up on the list, as you guys have pointed out that you're getting your income from the world rather than your passive income. So
yeah,
that makes sense.
It does. I meant more like Astral Dew and Tranquility Pool. Do you think about those at all, or do you just like, this is the one that's near me, I'll grab it?
I find them and then I love on them. You know?
I think that's a reasonable thing too. They're all good. Is the like unreasonably obvious banner. They're all good. 100%. Tranquility Pool right now is way better than all the other ones. That's the one that reduces knowledge cost for stuff, but they're all good.
I would have done that move just to get both vision. There's no way that's.
I don't think that's a trap, right?
Yeah. Has to be.
It's worth like standing next to and seeing, but like there's no way that's just a one wild speaker.
Yeah. I'd probably just continue on here. See what else we can kind of see. Ooh, there's some Ashlands, little mana to pick up. Nothing too extraordinary out there.
So Hubert, the reason we don't do manual is because like the game's just way too easy if you do that. I think this is also just like better practice for.
My army would lose something in this fight, right? A tier 3 is just way too powerful.
Well, it's a single model entity tier 3, and I think that's an important part of the factor too, right? Like some tier 3s, you can reduce their damage output by hurting them, and that's not true for spiders, and spiders have an extra unit. So that in particular fight, you can the other thing, you can lose some units. That's okay.
That's true.
Losing a couple units, if you trade them for something useful, like an Ancient Wonder or an Infestation, then that's a good exchange. You just don't want to be losing them most of the time in like random, like resource fights. That's not great.
Would you use the Dawn Defender since he's so far behind?
100%.
You would? Okay.
100%. I don't think you're going to be able to get... Can you get the other Dawn Defender over there, the one you just produced? One tile away. Oh.
In it, but yeah, not all the way. Sad. We could buy roads. No, just kidding.
I mean, if you're... There is a special case here for that Winsley has been experimenting with. Normally, spending Imperium on population is garbage and not good.
Yeah.
But with Enthrall population, exactly, this might not be the case anymore. So this could potentially be an option for you to, specifically because you're going to be taking a food fight.
Yeah.
It might be worth it to buy a pop to see what it costs. How much is that really setting you back here? It's 15. I would go ahead and do that. So that way it's cheaper for us to take an enthrall. So let's grab probably that forester, and then let's switch that farm. That farm should have been a quarry.
Okay. Now can he reach?
So now you should be in range. Yeah.
Okay.
And
so we just leave out this Dawn Defender and go with this, you think?
yes, yeah. I think that's probably a good fight. You'll probably lose that Dawn Defender, honestly, but that Dawn Defender cost, but because it's an isolated unit, but that's fine, and if it gives you an extra level up on your ruler, it's actually worth it.
Gotcha. Okay, sure. Let's see what happens. What's worst case scenario? We lose like...
The worst case scenario would be losing the Sun Priest. The Lightning Elemental is good to keep, but not crucial. But the support units are really good. Yeah. But you're level 2, and you are high, so you have a lot of extra damage. I wouldn't be surprised if the casting doesn't matter that much, honestly.
All right, we'll see.
There you go. Good Autoresolves can sometimes take you there.
Yeah. And we got the level 3 and the Stalwart Protector, which is useless for us right now. But food more importantly, obviously.
So now you definitely want to sweep north, like 100%, because north has an infestation and the tranquility pool that we really would like to see.
Yes. Okay, I was going to do the level up here first. Figured get that out of the way. They're just so new that I don't... There's one that people say is not good early. I can't remember which ones people said that. Do you value the Eldritch Influence?
I do. I really like Eldritch Influence. Yeah. I think the world map casting is an incredibly powerful tool. Right now, your mana is kind of low, and so we're going to need to find either mana on the board, or we're going to need to find spells for you to cast without mana. But you already have one of them. So Eldritch Influence giving you more Imperium, I think, is probably worth taking here, especially given that you're already researching Blizzard.
It's so early, too, that, like, I mean, this is stacking every turn, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's obviously stronger to get Eldritch Influence when you have spells to cast, but I think it's fine.
Yeah. Alright, so let's get back on the road. And then let's see what that is first. Would you waste just a couple movement kind of getting there?
Don't move that entire stack over there. If you're gonna scout north, then I think you move like northwest one tile, so that's like the furthest extent that those guys can go, and then you can take your ruler and scout north, because your ruler is A, floating, and B, it's necessary to put an outpost down. So you should use your ruler here actually to put an outpost on the tranquility pool. Even if it takes us a little while to get the military strength to clear that tranquility pool, we want to lock it down.
Okay. Let's see here. Where would we drop? Would you drop it right on the tranquility pool?
Yeah, right on the tranquility pool.
Okay.
Yeah. People like try to argue about whether or not you should try to save it for a research post later on. That's largely not correct. because here the value of getting this resource online is so high that the inefficiency of waiting on turns is worth a lot. Like, that's much more meaningful than skipping out on one research post.
Yeah, so we'll grab this. Our ruler is still full health, so we just get out of this area now, probably. Anything else we kind of want to push towards? There's somewhere over here is probably fine.
Oh, great. Yeah, so you may or may not have seen, but there was the edge of that free city was there.
Oh, I didn't actually see it, no.
Yeah, but activating this conversation with them is good. And that's a tier 3. If you can siege that baby down and take control of that, that means that it comes with a Town Hall 3 pre-built.
Gotcha.
That means that as soon as you conquer that, you can make Awakeners if you migrate them immediately on like turn 10.
That's kind of disgusting, really.
So this is one of the many reasons why people just kill free cities, especially if they're higher tier. They're just so good for you. 100%. Your next plan needs to be just kill the Haunted Graveyard, so just start walking the units that you have in that direction.
Now, in 9+ turns is when they're going to put out a attacking stack. Is that how that works? Okay, so just go.
Yeah, they'll make extra stacks and they will patrol around their own territory. They'll also try to set themselves up. Let those guys heal this turn. You probably can't take the graveyard this turn. You can take it next. See where it's trying to move if it moves up there. But I think actually you're right that the road is going to be faster for everybody except the Storm Spirit doesn't care about roads. But that's much better for the Sun Priest.
Okay. Sounds good. You're done. Oh, so we finished that with that extra production. Where would we go to now? Would we jump into more?
So,
This
is where you start getting problems. So, don't build vendors. Vendors, don't build vendors unless there's something going really, really right or really, really wrong. Vendors you can sometimes build later on into a game, just because they're really inexpensive to build, and low tier buildings are just really easy. But gold is by far and away the most plentiful resource that you're going to find on the map. Therefore, building it in your cities is entirely unnecessary. I
value these two so much.
Storehouse is good. Vendor is incredibly skippable. I would say either Storehouse or Library is a good place to start, except you are high. If you were anybody else, I think I'd probably recommend starting Storehouse first. But High has so much population growth because of their alignment agenda, which we need to activate. So it's good that there's a free city that we can pillage. I think that's how we're going to get evil here. But I think I would probably recommend.
You want to be neutral, though, right?
Yes, but in order to become neutral, you must do a little evil. I would start with Library here because I expect us to get evil soon. But Storehouse is a very good building still, and I don't begrudge people the opportunity to build those. Let's make sure we build something, probably another Dawn Defender. Honestly, It's usually incorrect to not have enough units to do some scouting.
Especially while our spell is up.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you rarely build scouts then?
So I think Industrious wants them because they're good. Because it's great for their scaling. Basically, nobody else should be building scouts most of the time. They're really inefficient versus just building a tier 1 unit, because the tier 1 units can actually fight. So, Hubert, we don't do manual battles for 2 reasons. 1, for multiplayer, it slows the game down a lot. But 2, it also just makes the game just way too easy, I think. Animals, yeah, you can definitely take that graveyard.
You think so? Okay.
The first thing you should do about that graveyard, though, is figure out, does your ruler need a lot of units in the fight or not? Because your ruler's taken a lot of fights, so it might be borderline level 4. So you need 6 experience points. That means you literally can't get the level up in this fight anyway. Because what are you fighting against in that graveyard?
Yeah, a bunch of turns.
So how much EXP are those?
Does it say?
No, but you can, I'll teach you very easy. Tier 1s are 4, tier 2s are 6, then 8, then 10, then 12. And so the higher tier units, you know, give you more experience points as you go up.
We're 4, 8, 12, 16, minus however many units we take. So we'd have to beat that stack with roughly 3.
Except that the game creates fake units if you have fewer than 4. So you cannot divide, I think it was like the Watcher patch they changed this. You can't divide EXP more than 4 ways. So you can actually bring as many units to this fight as you want, because your ruler is not going to gain a level.
Less than 4 ways, though?
It can't go less than 4 ways, no.
Okay.
If you have 2 units, it'll create like 2 fake units to absorb EXP.
I would probably value bringing the Dawn Defender over the Storm Spirit, mainly because he's injured and he injured / likely to die.
So here, do you have any injured units with your ruler?
No.
No. So remember, how does the AI work? There's only 1 injured unit here. That's where the heal is going to go 100% of the time. That Storm Spirit is not at 29 HP. That Storm Spirit's 59. So don't move him all the way in, though. Don't move him all the way in. Move that stack into reinforcement range in case it gets hurt and needs to go back and heal more. But I would also bring your extra Dawn Defenders to this, because your ruler is not going to gain level 4 anyway, right? You need 6 experience points, and the minimum you can divide it 4 ways means that you're gonna get less than 6. And you could even bring the other Dawn Defender to the bottom if you want. I don't think it will. I think it'll reach. I think it'll reach your. Yeah, it'll reach those guys. I would just send him over there anyway. Just because this costs you nothing really in terms of opportunity. I think you could also move the ruler and the Dawn Defender together there, because your ruler is a ranged unit. So move up there, and then, probably, and then from that tile, But it's a slight optimization.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
This is good enough. All right, cool. You lost a unit that does not matter. Sure.
We watch it. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
Did he charge into his death?
Probably. Animals I would consider viable in PvP.
That was our problem.
Yeah, that could have set you back. My guess is it probably just Leroy Jenkins said, "Hey, y'all, watch this," and then dove off a cliff.
All right, chat. Make your bets. Left or right? Which one died? Quick, you have to move quick though. Oh, there was another option. Left center. My bad.
Ooh boy.
So it's this guy. Probably turn this up a little bit.
Yeah, 100. It's gotta be. Yep. Like this is just a pretty clean high fight. This is the way it works.
Coffins are all in here.
Yeah, I love the art direction in this game. It's so beautiful.
My ruler.
So your ruler just saw the kill there because it could do massive amounts of fire damage. That's one of the reasons I think actually the Relic of Havoc is a pretty reasonable starting relic, just for the damage type. That's a tier 3 weapon you just got.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So yeah, there are some actually really good animals for PvP, Hubert. I would say the evolutionary ones are probably the best, but I need to experiment more with them with summoning. Yeah, so you can't use that one here, but that doesn't mean you can't use it in the near future. So now I think you want to plan to probably conquer that free city. So the first thing you want to think about is, what do you need to conquer that free city?
Well, to siege it, but more units would be my initial thought process.
Yeah, you're going to need units, but more importantly, you're going to need time for that siege that you described. And that's good, because that means that you have time to get the Imperium you need so that when you conquer it,
Take it
you
over.
can take it over. Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense. So we build another Dawn Defender to replace the one we lost.
Yeah, probably. It might not be exciting to be spamming your melee unit, but it is genuinely very useful. You probably also want to let any of your wounded units walk back to heal if they can get there. If they can't, then because that outpost is coming up in one turn, then there's no reason to send them back home. They'll just go that way. But like your Storm Spirit can heal.
He's fast enough to get back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, honestly, he could probably be there. Even.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, and then we'll just go over here. Go see everything again. So this outpost ended up being a little bit ugly then, potentially?
No, that's a perfectly reasonable spot for the
fine,
outpost.
okay.
Because that's going to give you like a spot to heal for your units to be able to attack that free city from. It's also going to give you the tranquility pool as soon as you have the military strength to clear it, which if you have Blizzard online or Phantasmal Ritual, you do. But the other thing that we want to do is, can you pillage one of those tiles like this turn? Can you get anybody over there to pillage that quarry?
There? No.
What about your ruler? How close can you get? One tile away.
Yeah.
F in the chat. F in the chat. You don't have... Oh, in your level 3, so you don't have the Wisp yet.
No.
Yeah.
Did we didn't level up that.
No.
Well, it's nice we unlocked, we found a wonder and a camp there. A nice
So
little find.
what does that Haunted Halls do? Do you know what that wonder does?
Corrupted soul to the Rally of Legis.
So the real value of Haunted Halls isn't any of the stuff that it's telling you here. It's that you can take this wonder for free. This is one of the wonders that you can just sacrifice stuff to unlock immediately. And when you do so, you can take a hero who comes with like 20 levels of item equipment. So that's a great reason to scout, right?
Yeah.
Getting mana stash is great because you have no mana, so that's a good thing. But like,
Struggling.
the real reason that you scout isn't just to find more mana. Isn't just to find more mana, but that's probably correct. But also to find like infestations and wonders that you can clear easily or for free.
Makes sense. Man, did we get a infested realm here? Is this a lot of infestations? It kind
No,
of seems
I
like
don't
a
think so. You're just scouting a lot. You like
Maybe.
how often
You're
do you
right,
actually?
You're right.
You have so many scouts here.
I'm not scouting this much in my games, so you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That's
Like
probably
the number one efficiency problem I hear people complain about is like we just take a long time on our turns, and that's partially true, but it's also partially that like everybody just loses all of their units in Autoresolve and then doesn't scout, and then their turns aren't very complicated. So it's not just like we think for a long time, it's that we have resources because we haven't lost them, and then that causes like cascading bonuses where not only are we able to scout, but by scouting we find more things that support our military growth.
Food there, I just noticed.
Yeah, but do you notice anything about that food?
Just a cart? No,
It's a cart. No, that's do you know what that means?
That means it's open. Right?
No, so the basket on the ground, like the little buddy, is the one that's not guarded. The wagon, the cart is guarded. So your one archer can't actually take that anyway.
I was just wrong with it. Something just exploded there. That mean something just got destroyed, or was that just like a weird visual thing?
No, you're right. Something did just get destroyed.
Yeah.
So what that means is somebody did an excavation. So that tells you that there's a human or an AI down there. Either they did an excavation or they destroyed an infestation. But there's somebody down there with you.
Gotcha. Okay, so someone's under here. Blint? It's always Blint. It's never not Blint. Okay, I think that's it then.
I think so too.
In our capital, yep.
There's nothing for our world. You could potentially queue up another draft spell, actually.
We could do either or, right?
I think of the two, I would probably be inclined to more do the draft ritual, simply because you're if you do both, then you actually just cancel it out. You're going to get Blizzard in 2 turns, so you kind of can still do both if you want, but you can't do like multiples. It's like 1 enthrall and then 1 draft if you want it.
That makes sense to me. Yeah. All right. Looks good. Hello there, Iraq Shaggy. Goodbye.
There we go.
Okay. So, priority number 1, we're sieging. Do we have the total amount of units to siege now? Is the better question. And how far are we?
Probably not, but true priority number 1 is actually pillage one of those spaces so you get 5 evil, right?
Okay, so 5 evil for pillaging, and then, I mean, also the gold resources and everything too, I guess, right?
The gold is good too, but for you as high in particular, the 5 evil is really important. Wait,
Yeah.
don't send both. Your Dawn Defender needs to heal, right?
Yeah,
You
right.
almost never want to send both just blind without a very compelling reason. Individual
Does
units are
anyone else-
just better.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, does anyone else do this? Me, just being me, I like the idea of my guy standing on a mountain. So like sometimes I would.
Oh, so you can
when
see
I'm
further.
in- Yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
Well, it's just honestly, it's like I have the high ground, you know, like that's just a
Yeah.
mental block that I can't get over, right? I would stand him here and I'd waste all that movement to do
Yeah.
it, but just in my brain, it makes so much sense. So if I was to pillage this, do I only need 1 unit on it? at
Yeah,
the
you
end?
only need 1 unit.
You know?
It
Okay,
would be
that makes sense.
better, honestly, if it was like that Dawn Defender, that one, not that one, the other one that's with your
This
Sun
guy
Priest, because that's the least important unit that you have. So
Yeah.
if you're going to use any of them, I think that would be the one that you would send actually to pillage.
What are we thinking expansion-wise here first? I typically will do my expansion first, but that seems like a bit of a mistake.
No,
knowing
you
where
can
we're going.
actually. That's a good thing to do sometimes because it adds movement speed, right? It'll make your
Yes.
scouting better. It'll make your reinforcing
So,
better. Here,
would
I think now you can make
you go this way?
adjustments.
Yeah,
No, because now you have
yeah, you
enough
have an
movement in that
outpost.
direction. I think you want to definitely take the quarry on the iron mine because that's a lot of production.
Okay, you're right. So I value a lot by not having like a quarry. Like I like it like, okay, I'm already getting 10 production. I'll get a little bit of like gold or food. I mean, I'll be honest. I built a lot of mines, so
You should
You're
only
already
really be
saying
building
that.
a lot of mines once you've built out your infrastructure.
Or-
Once a city has built a lot of things and you just need gold and draft and mana and stuff to fight people, that's when mines go way up. But you really shouldn't be building mines at the beginning of the game unless a tile just can't support anything other than a farm and a mine, in which case you do what you gotta do.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so let's move out. We have a nice heal spot here now, which is nice.
So-
see, look, my mind instantly. I just go
Yeah.
to that.
So
Every time.
so Nemki, just go ahead and pull your ruler and that injured guy back, and
Okay,
take,
Can I put them on the mountain? Just-
if you want to, I would actually set yourself up to be in range to fight that halberdier. Oh,
Right here.
or you could use this as an opportunity to start the siege on Harperton, right? Because you're going to have the Imperium, and you have the gold. Start the siege, baby. All right, send that 23 back to heal, though.
Okay. He's gonna go on the mountain.
Absolutely.
Here's actually a question. So he's gonna heal, right?
Yeah.
To get off of a tile you're already on is the same movement. It's the tile you're moving to, right?
It's the time to move to. Yeah, so it doesn't matter if he stands on the mountain.
Baby.
Yeah.
We're on the high ground. All right, so then these two will come up and see.
Yeah, standing there is fine.
Is that? Okay.
Yep.
Conserve full health. Might as well move the Storm Spirit into more healing location, closer
Yep.
to the siege upcoming. And so then you'd have my Solar Ruler go and start the.
Yeah. Unless
Right?
it spawns an attack stack, then the units that are inside are not going to come out to attack you. This is a really interesting fight too. It's going to be
Yeah.
double heroes. That's dangerous, but it means that if you get through it, the rewards are huge.
Oh, I was just gonna say too. Experience for killing a hero. Where do they fall in the?
I'm pretty sure they count as tier 5s, so these should be
Oh, okay.
these ludicrous
That's
amounts
nice.
of experience points.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I didn't start it. Turns. How many
So,
siege projects? do you
Yes. It's largely dependent upon what you are fighting and what you can bring to the fight. In this case, because this is a tier 4 or a tier 3 free city, it would be nice to be able to get this down to a 3-turn siege, but I don't think that that's possible without investing way too much mana or way too much money. So here, because you're fighting against heroes, I would actually take Undermining the Walls. If you were fighting against normal units, then Harass Defenders is much better, right? Because it removes models.
Gold on this siege, then.
Yes. Because undermining the walls just like really royally screws the Autoresolve AI on the defending side. If you use undermining the walls, the free city heroes and everyone will just suicide into your army in front. You don't have to attack them; they'll come out to you, and you don't really need it. Oh yeah, all the time. But not now, not here, not here.
It pretty good too. You wouldn't take it here, even though I could. Oh, I guess
it would shave one turn. And yes, that's the problem. Sieges have no. They have like basically nothing to eat. If you wanted to, like, if we knew that you had Blizzard down, then you actually probably could use a Headlong Assault. But I don't think you're gonna get a crazy amount of value out of sieging this city down anyway.
Yeah, so we'll just hold off then. You guys are going to raise this. Or the evil. Oh, we don't get into
just a little bit, evil.
Where do we want to send this guy? Up through here, I guess?
Yeah, that looks good to me. Have you checked in that cave yet that's north of there? I don't remember.
I don't think I looked in that one, though.
Yeah, I would just like pop down there, see what's around, and then keep moving.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what's that? Same with this cart, also defended?
That one looks like a production pile, right?
Okay.
It's actually kind of hard to see from here in Discord, but I think that's a production pile that shouldn't be guarded. You can also, like move half of the way.
True. How many? 2. Oh no, I did see it last time.
Yeah, I don't think that's a oh, it's a large. It's a large, and it's in forest, so there might be just like a bunch of stupid Entwined Thralls there.
Really?
But you'll never know until you stand next to it. If they were invisible because they're yeah.
Oh,
yep, a bunch of stupid Entwined Thralls.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh. I mean that makes sense. Oh.
Yeah, Anthony, a way to set cameras directly from above would be unbelievably useful.
That's okay. It was only one of those like paragraph thing, whatever. Just, let's get out of here then. Or should I have gone and met them? Right there.
You've already met them. If this were multiplayer, I would probably scout a little bit around their territory, but
just
like if this were multiplayer, they would also be yelling me to get the hell out of here. So
True. Hit up this. Power next. Okay. Oh wait, you know what we're gonna do too? Just because we need that ambience.
Actually, yeah. Can you crank the music but turn the master down because the sound effects are a little high? I think that'll be a better balance. Like master at like 50 or something.
I can also turn down some of the sound effects too.
Yeah, I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good.
Okay. So that production made us finish what we had. So now would you go storehouse or would you just go right into like? Because
we're late on evil, I think you gotta take the storehouse, right? Because if we'd found a free city that we could have declared war on turn 1, we would have way more food by now. And given that we're gonna finish this and then be able to do the Arcane Institute and then be able to do Town Hall 2 without really falling behind on pacing, I think it's fine.
So we pop this again.
Probably. You are starting to run a little light on gold. So we'll have to look around for gold fights, but those exist, and you can take those without your hero if you want.
I almost wonder if we needed that there. I guess if we lose a lot of our army here, we would.
Yeah, it's probably still worth it to make a couple of more Dawn Defenders and maybe another Dusk Hunter and just send stuff north, because you're not just taking Harperton. You want to be able to take Harperton and then almost immediately afterwards kill those stupid trolls and take your Tranquility Pool. right? You want that tranquility pool. It's just right now with a siege underway, it's not not advisable.
Fair enough. Wall, another Dawn Defender, Lingering Presence. Good. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to be.
Alright, let's do the less important. Let's go stand beside this spider. Ah, see, that's something I did not know.
Yeah, there's so many things that the game doesn't just like tell you that are really important that you kind of just have to like learn.
We've got 3 turns. We'll have the Imperium next turn, which is next turn.
We will. Will we have Shadow 2 online or Shadow 1 online at the same time? Because I think we might.
We might. Lesser Spirit, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, what did you say? Is Shadow 2?
Shadow. I think we'll have Shadow 1 online. So let's open the. So we need 4 more turns for knowledge extraction. It genuinely might be worth waiting 1 extra turn after the walls fall down because there are 2 heroes in that fight.
That's a big.
That's 300 knowledge.
That's pretty nuts, actually. What is this take right now? By 250.
You would
so it's
research an
literally
entire tech for free for waiting for 1 turn. I think that's worth it. So you kind of are not even gonna take this on 3 turns. It's gonna be 4 turns, but that means you have enough Imperium to take those other things. So that means that like this Dawn Defender that you have there, that one that you're considering moving, just go take those scrolls right in the northwest. Like go take a little bit of knowledge, stay nearby, right?
Yeah.
But like you're not gonna be taking that fight immediately because I think you want desperately that 300 knowledge.
When you're moving in a multiplayer match, do you go like about halfway first?
Yeah, generally.
You
Oh,
never do a
hey,
full move?
I don't know, but I also don't do like 1 tile at a time because that's dumb. You don't want to take that fight this turn, but you might be able to take that fight next turn or the turn after, because your ruler doesn't have to stand there. Your ruler can be anywhere that's adjacent to the city. So your ruler can actually move outside of the city and like to that space that's like inside the siege, and that'll be close enough to reinforce for that pasture fight and heal because it's in neutral terrain.
Yeah, right here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Talking right here? Yeah.
Yep. And so like being able to reinforce and heal means that next turn when everyone's ready, you can take that pasture fight and still don't move away from the siege. It has to be.
I didn't notice that I was gonna go right
Yeah.
there, actually.
But you want to yeah. Oh, you're just scouting. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I was gonna
That's a
go
great
back.
idea, actually.
Yeah.
That's absolutely correct.
Use up a little bit more.
Yeah, you're not taking this fight anyway, so you're right. I was wrong. Actually, no, keep going. You if you had the ability to go down there, then you would want to, but then that would break the siege. So now just position yourself to be able to stand in that old tile and you'll be fine.
Okay. We'll just go back.
Yeah, you're absolutely, because you want to take that fight next turn.
Okay.
Oh, and you know what you want to do? Queue up a blizzard, baby.
Ooh, yes. Let's get that going before we forget. 1 turn for Blizzard? Is that because I have so much saved up?
It's because you're an Eldritch Sovereign. So
okay,
Wizard, like the world map casting, is the thing that defines how long it takes you to do Blizzard. So what is that?
I'm assuming it's some pretty ponies, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's a city?
Yeah, specifically, that's going to be a free city, and that's actually a wildlife sanctuary. It's an SPI, so there's some kind of animal free city thing going on over there. So you could be worried about them coming out and killing your ruler, Anthony. So I want to start positioning our units close to them, but like I don't think we've been at war with them long enough that they'll summon a stack this turn. Okay, so here's the thing when it comes to free cities. Your army can't be literally everywhere all at once. You have to choose an order in which you're going to kill them. And if there's something like this, where it's already friendly to you, because they're at plus 200 relationships and it's out of the way, you could potentially just give them a Whispering Stone if it didn't cost you something. The problem here is that Yeah, city stability is just so good for you. And as this ramps up because it sits in your capital, it's going to give you even more efficiency.
Yeah.
I would wait on this until you found another source of stability. Then maybe you stone it.
That makes sense. All right, let's touch this up first. I have to say, I do love the animations of the thing. With this archer, I guess we just continue get this last bit of the map.
I think actually here, go ahead and start pulling units down towards either the siege or more importantly the troll fight. Because I think the most important thing is going to be not how much do you lose in that siege, because I don't think you're going to lose that much unless they create an attack stack.
No.
Which
Yeah,
you know maybe they do. But unless they do, I don't think that's going to be the hard fight. I think the troll fight is going to be the hard fight. But I think having units there is good. And this is what you'll do is you'll like build a bunch of tier 1 units, scout a lot, and then you bring them back. And because you built real units and not scouts, now you can kind of just bring them in to do stuff for you.
That makes sense for sure. Yeah. Oh, met the other one. Nice to meet you. Or probably not nice in our circumstance, but okay. So
Nice enough. Nice enough.
By just getting back over here.
Yeah, I think that's the safe space where you probably want to just stay. That's a that's a really easy derelict workshop. The hardest part of that is just the triple scrap hermit is the hardest part. But if you have any sort of magical damage, which High has all sorts of magical damage, then that derelict workshop is a lot easier than it can sometimes be. Derelict workshops can get ironclads, they can get tier 4 units if they want them, and that's just a bunch of tier 2s. So that's a really profitable fight.
So we're taking this fight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're taking this fight this turn, and then after the city siege, we'll clean up these two.
Probably, unless we can get inside range for the reinforcement range for that mana node fight also. How far does that extend out? I don't think it extends to where the ruler is, does it? No, so it'll extend to the farm fight, but honestly you need mana anyway. So I think you're probably going to want to take the farm fight and then also the mana node fight, which you probably just can't bring your ruler to. But your ruler should hit level 4 anyway.
Okay, let's get these guys all as close as we can here then.
Do keep in mind where they can reinforce though, right? Like you don't need to be all of the way there if they can go back to heal. And you can only have 3 stacks in a fight also. So individual units, sometimes you want to start clumping them together here, right?
I don't think I could in that situation there. I don't think I could clump these two together. But I could.
Well, like you can take that. You have that Sun Priest and the Dawn Defender standing together on the quarry ruins.
On the they'll just come over into one of these.
Yeah, they can stand with either one of the individuals, or with your ruler. Because keeping your ruler isolated is fine if you have to. But it's risky for the Autoresolve because they love Leroy Jenkinings. Yeah. So like having someone nearby to keep them honest can't hurt them.
Can I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? What do we think?
Yeah, you should have enough movement for that.
Yeah, okay.
Welcome to athletics. This is just you walk so fast.
Pretty great. Storm Spirit we want involved as well?
Yeah, I think just get as many as you can. So that's a fine spot. The Storm Spirit will take less and deal less, but I think that's mostly a feature and not a bug.
Okay. Believe. Not bad at all. And we hit level 4 off that, which is very
nice.
Spark Collar.
That is a nonsense item. But yeah, 60 food is great.
Yeah. Okay, Storm Spirit has lots of movement left. Nothing really to like mess about with.
I think actually, if you're going to do anything with the Storm Spirit, it would be move to your ruler, and then next turn you can move it underground. Because although the walls are going to fall in 2 turns, we do really want that shadow one for the big knowledge boost.
Their city is.
Here's another important thing actually though. This is you're inside of an infestation, so your units are not healing. So you actually do need to move at the minimum the Sun Priest and the Dawn Defender down just like one tile.
Okay. Here.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's still in the infestation.
Wait, what? Oh.
It is, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess you're probably not healing those guys immediately,
Yeah.
but it's okay. We have 2 turns, so you can just move them back to heal next turn.
You don't want me to move them this turn?
No, like next turn they'll have the movement points to move back to the outpost, right?
Gotcha.
And then heal for 1 turn because you have to wait 1 turn after the walls fall anyway for Shadow 1.
Okay. Just kind of get our scout on a little bit more even, I guess. Okay, what are we looking at now? So can we explain it?
So there are a lot of important things. Arcane Institute, Lightforge, and Town Hall 2 are all really crucial.
Okay.
I think here I would probably go for Arcane Institute just for knowledge stacking, but Town Hall 2 really can't be wrong, because although we don't have the boost now, you're 1 turn away from the boost, and that'll refund you everything. So if you do something where you start a building and then pick up the boost along the way, it's just as useful as starting with it.
How do you get a boost for?
This is 5 population, which you'll get
okay.
as it highlights there in 1 turn.
Gotcha. Okay. So that was actually a good question for me to ask. So obviously I know you say stonemason is no, but
Yeah.
If I build the stonemason, do I still get the boost to the discount and everything if I get it 2 farms after the fact? Or like, I mean, you can use
if you were trying to build the stonemason, then what you would do is you'd need to have like 1 farm now and then another farm like coming down the pike, so that way you could pick up the boost while you are building it. If you don't get the boost while you are building the building, getting it after the fact won't refund you anything.
As long as it's still in the queue.
As long as it's still in the
will still
queue
refund me?
when you get the boost, it still counts.
Is that correct statement or no?
Yeah, if it's still in the queue when you get the boost, you're fine. It's just that like,
Yeah. So
if
just,
you,
for example, how you kind of said.
yeah, like
the
when
next turn,
what we'll do,
so
you'll
still
pick
get
it
it back.
here. If you, I think it is actually probably correct to take it here rather than Arcane Institute or Lightforge. But if you're
One thing
better
I
than
just-
I am and disagree, that's okay. Like
One
I
thing I
think I
will
could make
say-
arguments for this too.
One thing I will say that the Town Hall might have been the worst choice is that we're about to get a better Town Hall. in a
Oh no
couple
no no!
turns.
You have because it's in 2 different cities, so you should
Well, Reaver's kinda
almost
nice
certainly be
for-
taking Madcaster most of the time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's not so much because of the Chaos Pulse. It's for 2 reasons. One, the Autoresolve doesn't know how to use Mindbreaker at all. So like it just uses it as an insanity and then kills the unit. So like the ability effectively does nothing. And 2, you are using a strategy that's going to have Blizzard, and so like enemy damage army spells 30% mana. Your mana is going to be a problem always anyway. So I think that there are very few builds that want anything other than Madcaster right now, just because the AI can't use the other tools particularly well.
Not the Fleshling? I did Fleshling
Not
the other day and it
the-
didn't seem to be too bad in AI circumstance, but
It's okay, but the Fleshlings are meaningfully worse than any other like natural unit that you can add to the game.
that makes sense. Yeah. So do you like Delirium or no?
I don't like it because it mostly doesn't do anything. Like mostly you use it and then
Kill it,
your
right?
friends just kill it. But the base bonuses for these things still aren't like bad, right? If you use this and then all of your units beat up on a unit and kill it, then that's still value for you.
Yeah,
It's just not
sure.
maximum. I would take Desperate Anguish here, because it's a stun, and it's a stun that if it fails, at least you're getting like some value out of it.
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, we're not casting Blizzard this turn.
Those pop-ups, just right-click on them if you don't want
Yeah.
them bothering you.
I just sometimes forget what they are. Destroying or investing is... Well, we don't care about that. Alignment change, finally! So that's giving us now plus... What is it? It's giving us plus 10 and 10? Is that what
It actually, it depends on the stability in your city. So in your city right now, it'll give you 10 and 10, but as you get more and more stability, it'll go to 20 and 20 and then 30 and 30. And this is why high, and only high, really cares about positive stability. But it does really care about positive stability.
Yeah, I think that's it then.
I agree.
Yeah. Don't get out of here, man. Killed it. Okay, lose 10 knowledge per turn. Or 117 gold. I mean, oh wait, that's
so
gold, my bad.
Yeah, you'd get gold in exchange for effectively the cost of a library for 6 turns. I think this is something where it's dependent on what's going on. If you were desperately low on gold, you could take this. You're also about to get a ludicrous amount of knowledge from the city fight, so you're not going to be as far behind as you would expect.
No, 10 turns that's a lot of, or 6 turns, I guess.
It's 60 total knowledge, effectively, right?
So
Are you willing to trade 60 total knowledge for... Yeah, it's 1 turn. Are you willing to trade 1 turn of knowledge for slightly more than 1 turn of gold?
Probably.
I think it depends on if you need it, but here I feel like how much knowledge you're about to get, the gold is more valuable.
That's what I was kind of thinking too. Like we're about to get actually 5 turns of knowledge. So
Yeah, exactly.
4 turns of knowledge. It just feels a little better to me. That makes sense.
But that one and a lot of those are just board contextual, right?
Did you say we should fight this with my?
I think you can.
My ruler?
Because you're not going to be in reinforcement range for your ruler off of anywhere, but you kind of really do need the mana. Yeah, you kind of really do need the mana. So who else can you get everybody over there? Like that archer? Can that archer make it?
Archer. Yep. Archer.
Yeah, just take everybody into that fight.
Okay.
Because like you want to concentrate EXP on your ruler, but also you can't into this fight anyway.
Yeah. You think this is pretty safe?
You might lose it on defender, but who cares? You have 4 of them.
Okay.
Hey, you did. All right, cool.
Mana, yay. All right, we will
So-
leave this on defender here.
Wait, no. Anyone who's injured, you've got, remember, 1 more turn before those walls fall. So anyone who is injured, you actually wanted to break off and send back to that outpost to heal. Because that they need to be at full or close to full.
A little extra. What side is I guess it's telling me to go here, so I'll just stick to that.
Yeah,
This
it's
almost
like
feels
most of
this
it is about cycling units back and forth to, like, you're a row crew, right?
Yeah, I wonder if I'm gonna be able to get. I'll get back in range for sure, I guess.
Yeah, just remember you're not actually taking the fight next turn, because
You're
you're
right,
still
you're
1 turn off from Shadow.
This looks like that's about all that I really care about exploring down here. It looks like that end. and stuff.
Yeah. You'll also get used to, there is another path actually, like to the far south. Let's not actually go this way, but go down. Like,
Go down underground?
yeah. You'll see that there is a path there, right?
Yes.
Behind the Turtle Bend Chambers, but that path can't be that big, right? Because you see the other thing down there.
Okay. I guess this guy can just. What is in here? Nothing, probably, right?
No, wait. The most beautiful thing is there. Do you see what I see? I see a horror. So there you see Archon Blood, right?
Right there, yeah.
Yeah. So you have an Archon Blood, and you already have a Tranquility Pool, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the missing 3rd piece here?
No, what is the missing? We saw it.
Yes, we did.
I remember what it is.
It's Astral Dew, so it's like that blue flower, and I think it's like southwest of your capital.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it's like right along the bottom. Yeah, there it is. So you actually have Cosmoflux Elixir, which is one of the most powerful combinations. So I think your goal, if you were to play this all the way through, which, you know, we'll play maybe like until we feel like we've done what we needed to do.
Covered.
But if you were to play this all the way through, then the right thing to do would probably be after Harperton, scout around and add outposts, but prioritize the things that the map's given you. And if the map is telling you, hey, you have Cosmoflux Elixir right now if you want it, then you have Cosmoflux Elixir, baby. Like, just don't fight it. They'll lead you where you gotta go.
What is your next thought process here? Part of me wants my sheep, but then also this.
So in ye olden days, it used to be like really important to just get your academy up as quickly as you could. But I think personally that it's probably better to still pick up like a blacksmith before the academy with the current rules. So you're gonna want to add that tile that's up to the northwest with a conduit in it as a research post soon. But given that it is not cleared, it's not giving you mana, and there's an opportunity to pick up a big farm here or more foresters, I guess. Either one of those will be fine, and you'll just take the conduit in like 1 or 2 turns.
I'd probably take the farm.
I agree. Yeah. I think here it doesn't
I'll
cost
see
you
if,
anything.
My mic quality might get a little bit worse, but I will raise my thing. I saw again that people are saying they can't hear me great, so.
Yeah, I have you at 200% in
bad,
Discord.
How bad is this? How much?
That sounds totally fine to me. And it's meaningfully louder on my headphones.
Yeah. Okay.
I detect no audio problems.
Are we
Winsay,
better
tell
chat?
us. I assume it's better.
Yeah, it's probably a lot better. I literally doubled my thing, but
Yeah.
I start hearing some little bit more background sound and whatnot. So, but it shouldn't be too much. Goodbye, new bounty. Do you interact with bounties very often? Like,
Not
I kind of
really.
a convenience, like, oh, I wanted to kill that guy anyways. Like, that's kind of my like thought process, I guess.
I mostly don't interact with them because we mostly don't use them in multiplayer, but they are cool. They're just like, if you want to do that in multiplayer, you just say, hey, Winsay, I'll give you 400 mana to declare war on zombie, and then you just like lie and don't give him the mana.
Diplomacy.
Diplomacy.
Okay. So we're not doing a whole lot this turn.
Probably not. If you hadn't taken so much damage in some of those fights, then you could even make an argument for taking the Derelict Workshop first. And if you had more mana, you could also make a good argument for doing the Derelict Workshop first, because you're going to have the ability to cast Blizzard twice. You just don't have the mana to cast Blizzard twice, is the real downside.
Do you have your voice chat audio separated on OBS?
I have Discord, but this is all of the audio is coming through Discord, right? Like the audio for your game and for you are coming through Discord.
We should test this out sometime, but I bet you I could stream it through Steam, and then it would be 2 separate audio sources again.
Oh, that might work. That might work.
Maybe a better way to do that in the future. All right, this Dawn Defender, leave him here for a turn.
If can he run back to heal? Yeah, he can run back to heal.
And get back.
For the complicated hard fights, you want to minimize your losses. We're waiting one more turn for Shadow 1, right? Because that's the thing that's going to give us 300 mana or 300 knowledge. And you can send that 40. You have one that does have full HP, so that one probably should move forward. Because the thing is that when you attack into a free city, that's one of the few exceptions to the engage with one rule. Most of the time you really do want to be starting fights with one unit, but free city fights, the AI is really great at just like suiciding into the gates, so you want to send as many units on the attack stack as you can.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, what are we doing next? Now probably more Institute. You think?
Hopefully. Well, we also have the issue where this is your capital, and so there's a wizard tower also. This is why there's like not time to build all of the things that are slow to pay off, like stonemasons. You just have so much stuff that you want to build. I think because it's a one turn wizard tower that you take it here. If that were 2 turns because of overflow, then you probably would want to build Arcane Institute first, but.
Are we queuing anything else up? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Like, you'll want to get a draft ritual queued at some point for Harperton after you've migrated it, so that way you can just like crank the crap out of a couple of Awakeners.
Yeah,
but
that'd be crazy.
You can do that next turn.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, you were right. I was supposed to.
Yeah, you forgot to move that, but that we'll fix that here. As long as the stack that you move into the city with is pretty beefy, then you shouldn't have an issue. Okay, so you can see there where they can actually attack from. It's going to be from that the southwest, because they need enough movement to get to the breach and then through. So why don't you just so like Harperton southwestish, yeah, like that line of attack looks pretty good. And then so like actually this one you want free city fights and like
with these guys.
You want to engage with a full 6 stack actually. Okay. So you could send the 4 there to that southwest tile and then like leave the hunter alone and attack.
Is there an argument for just cycling my ruler over here and then bringing these guys in? Then
that's exactly what you should do. Take the storm spirit and the ruler and leave the archer, and then move like 2 tiles directly west. No. Like to the tile you're gonna attack from, which is like northeast of there. Yeah. Right there. That tile, and then take your other 4 and put them also on that tile, and then you've built a 6 right there. Not the quarry, because you actually have to be
where I am.
Northwest.
So here.
Nope. Like of where you currently are. Press R
like
to like right there. Yeah, that's the exact spot you need to be standing on, because that's where your ruler and everybody can reach, and where the 4 stack and everybody can reach. This is only important. Oh, this is like mostly only important for free cities.
I was thinking that would be like, you know how you click on the city and it wants you to attack? I was thinking that was the square, but yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
So would you again still click in and go? Like everybody, you win one.
No, you're not. You don't have. As long as they're standing together, then they'll still fight together as if they're all friends. You just have to have them in the same stack. So yeah, just blizzard this baby and then send somebody.
I agree that I agree with Windslayer. I'm scared right now. Okay.
Windslay's a coward. Just blizzard this, and then attack it with just your ruler, and you'll be fine. You might lose 1 or 2 idiots, but oh wait, actually, don't just attack it. What have we waited for, Walker? What have we waited for, Nemki?
God. You're right.
We've waited.
Beautiful thing. That is a crazy amount of Imperium we're gonna
knowledge.
We're gonna get.
Yeah.
Frost Arrows is really the only choice.
We're gonna research this in 1 turn.
Yeah, that's kind of insane actually. You go ahead and go out. Nothing. Okay. I want to do the fight.
Yeah.
The
so
climax.
Don't send the whole thing. Click on just your ruler because he has the most movement, and just do this fight. And I think do you have any other units that you can pull in around here, like any Dawn Defenders or anything like that? Even if you don't, I don't think you're likely to lose everything here. I think you're likely to lose like the wounded Dawn Defender, maybe another Dawn Defender. But like, given that your units are much better and you have Undermine the Walls here, I'd be astonished if you lose everything.
Okay. Alright. I'm scared. Let it be known. Alright. Oh, we should have watched this one.
Oh, we can still do it.
Yeah,
we can still watch it.
Just cause I think it would be, we need to see it happen live though.
Yeah. But like, I think that if you understand how to plan out free city fights, that they're not nearly as terrifying as they are to some people. Like, if we had attacked this with 3 Dawn Defenders at the gates and then all of the other ones at reinforcement range, we could do that actually as just like a fun evil experiment if you want to revert 1 turn, because that might have gotten your army massacred. But as long as the idiots you put in the gate are huge and strong, free city fights aren't really that bad most of the time.
So did they heal? Did I miss a heal off the initial attack there or no? Because they don't have the damage from Blizzard. Or are we using Blizzard for the slow?
No, we did use Blizzard. They might have, so click, slow down the combat and then click on their heroes, because they might have had like a mass rejuvenation or something, which is fine. Yeah, there's a mass heal. That's how they got it. But that means that if you kill that hero, you get a wand of mass healing. Reinforcement range changes unit starting position a lot, Blue Saturday, actually. You'll see it in terms of like where they start in combat, but like they start super far away for reinforcement range on some maps, and sieges are like one of the largest maps, and so when you have reinforcement range in a siege, units will be literally like entire turns away from each other, and because the AI is just like impatient and mad, they'll just hurl units at free cities without reason or thought. So just like don't do that. When you fight free cities, bring a big stack to those fights at the gates. Most of the rest of the time engage with one. But like it really saves you so much hassle. I cannot tell you how many times it's been a big problem otherwise.
All right, sorry, we can speak to this.
Yeah, that's fine. I was talking to chat too.
Yeah, I figured. When two streamers get quiet.
Yeah, they're both on push to talk.
All right, well that's a pretty great. Honestly,
that's an incredible trade. Dusk Hunter is a unit that doesn't do anything for you really. It's just there.
I have to say too, the amount of HP we've even lost is kind of ridiculous.
This is what happens when you know how to auto-resolve. I'm not even good. I'm just not an idiot.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we're going into Frostblades now.
Yeah, do it.
Well, what is this? Temporary hit points. It's not terrible, but...
So Warding Blessing,
they're
exactly, they're good. Enchantments are much better for your auto-resolve than just like one extra tactical spell, because the AI's tactical spell ability is pretty limited. It's not generally great at prioritizing things. So just make sure that like you do whatever you can to give them passive abilities like enchantments. So here you're definitely going to migrate. No, migrate. So that way in those after those 3 turns, you can cast the draft ritual on the city, and you can make like an awakener every 2 turns, right? Do you want to be making awakeners on turn 14?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay,
so absorbing, if you absorb, what it'll do is it'll preserve the culture of this feline lord. This isn't an awful feline lord either, because it already has the Whiteborn transformation. So like this will give you, if you don't migrate it, it'll give you athletic feudal Whiteborn heroes and units to use, more importantly.
Yeah, it's not,
but that's not worth it compared to getting awakeners. They're just much better.
100%. Yeah. All right, let's do that. So we're gonna do evil again. So
that's only -10, right?
Aren't we?
Yeah, migrating is -10. So when you're playing as high, the alignment bar for you is -5 to +5. But if you go for a meaningful amount of time without committing any evil action, you'll actually gain good back. Whether you want to or not, you're just going to get some good. So I find it's generally better to want to be at either -5 or 0 than at +5, just so you don't randomly get good again accidentally.
Yeah. 5 right now, so we'll go down to -15 after this, or did that already?
No. So that hasn't, the -10 for migrating hasn't kicked in yet. Okay, so you're going to go from 5 to -5, and that'll still be in that the neutral range, right?
I don't know why I was going to -15 in my brain.
When raising a city is -20, but you're just migrating.
Yeah. Okay, so these guys, I mean, I guess we use this movement to just stand up here, but that's
wait, the next priority for you is one of 2 things. What are the next 2 most important things on this board?
I was thinking the Daedalic Workshop fight is pretty good resources, and then the production and stuff. What do you think?
I think the most important fight, if you can, is that one. That one is dependent on mana though. So in order to do the Tranquility Pool fight, I think you have to have a Blizzard. So do you see any mana that you can fight for? Because you don't need a lot, right? You have Madcaster. You just need a tiny amount of mana. Is there any in that northwest corner? There's a mana node, but unfortunately there's an infestation there, so those are cleared. But here's an important note for infestations. You do get a bunch of stuff for clearing them, so the Derelict Workshop might just give you like 200 mana. Is there anything under that cave?
Under the cave? Oh, we never. There's the cities.
Right
there.
Oh, right. There's their capital.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nemki, this right here is I think in one picture why you should probably not play Underground Adaptation in multiplayer, because occasionally you're just underneath a free city, and this person was literally underneath a free city and couldn't do anything, and now they're just trapped for them.
Yeah.
So I would encourage you to not play Underground Adaptation in multiplayer unless you're feeling really spicy.
We'll stand these guys together and continue on. Yeah, I already chose that. Crosshair is already completed. Wizard Tower is done. And an expansion.
Good.
So we're grabbing the mana here. Would we go Conduit?
No, you're going to go with a research post here for sure.
Okay.
Just so you have an academy online. Given that you're not currently at like clearing that mana conduit, that is another thing you could potentially fight. Do you remember what was standing on that?
I don't. I think it was a really hard fight though, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Well, I think it was a 4-stack and there was a couple tier 2s in it. That's all I can like rack my brain for.
Okay.
So we wouldn't pop out a shrine here to help our negative?
Probably not. If think about how slow that shrine is going to be at paying your mana back versus just taking one mana conduit fight. One mana conduit fight is going to be like 70 plus mana versus the 10 turns or whatever that, including the like production cost payoff. It's going to take a long time for the shrine to really catch you up on mana versus something like just the Light Forge or even just the Arcane Institute. I think here.
Sense.
Probably how much draft do you actually have in the city? You have 30.
30.
Oh, but you have double draft ritual. Just build the Arcane Institute and draft ritual this baby.
Arcane Institute and draft ritual?
That's what I would do.
Queue them up?
Not Lightforge, your evil draft ritual.
Gotcha. You're talking this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then go ahead and work on a tier 2 here because you have the Town Hall. I think this is actually a really good reason to pick up a second Sun Priest. Legendary support units used to be like the gold standard. Now a champion is fine, but they give you bolstered resistance every time they click defense. If you're going necromancy, then you can save these. If you're not going necromancy, you sell them immediately.
Okay, that's what I kind of figured was the thought process there. Okay, looking good. Looking pretty good here. This is we've conquered I mean we've essentially explored the entirety of the map. Like
all of the top soil. And this is what you should be doing. Like splitting units off and doing scouting early gives you enormous benefits for the game. Like eventually you'll run out of things to scout with and have to pull things back for complicated fights. But if you're not breaking off individual units and scouting really aggressively at the beginning of the game, you're missing out on a lot of value. Just a lot of value.
100%. This is probably a full-on. We probably need slow for this, a blizzard, or no? What do you think?
If we had the mana, yes, we would love to have a blizzard. But we don't have it currently. What else is in the area?
Of mine or?
Yeah, how far away is that water elemental?
He's pretty far. He cannot get there.
So he can't get there this turn, but he could be there next turn. Or you could even potentially activate the Archon Blood Fight, which at least is a lot of mana. I don't think anyone can get into that reinforcement range.
No.
What's the halberdier guarding?
This? Oh, sorry, which?
This one here? Not the pikeman. The halberdier is near the derelict workshop.
Oh, this guy. Large
production. All right. So that's a large production, and there's two. No. There are 2 tier 2 pole arms there, right? Oh no, that's a support.
It's a Bannerman
The
too.
Bannerman specifically, that actually might genuinely be a better fight to take early. Yeah, I would say let's see if we can take that.
We all know how crappy.
No, don't move the whole stack in. Unless it's a free city. Unless it's a free city fight, you almost always want to just move a couple at a time, and you might not even need all of the units for this fight. Like the 48, the one that's at half HP, I would send that baby back, just to heal. Like there's it, yeah. Move it into friendly territory to heal for one turn, because you're still gonna have enough movement to move back inside reinforcement range for the derelict. So yeah, right there looks like good.
Do you typically go ruler?
No, you typically want to go least useful unit unless there's like a serious
like
big.
that.
No, the
You can't reach.
the bronze Dawn Defender is the most throwaway if it can reach. Oh no, it cannot.
So the
All
only
right,
ones
well,
who can reach are probably
it's gonna be the floating guys. So that means that you can engage like this, but here, this is where, just walk everyone towards the enemy is actually better, because if you walk just your ruler out, your ruler might get caught out with, if the stack is clicked before you've clicked on anyone, it'll just move the whole thing. But here,
So when you're doing it
because
like this,
yeah,
he stays in the stack he's in.
right.
Okay,
And when the battle map loads, the ruler will not be all alone.
Yes.
5 turns away from everybody else. It'll still be in the stack, but it'll be the only one who moves.
Let's see what the AI does here. Just as
Yeah.
a little, I feel like that'd be a nice way to kind of see, because we are a little bit worried of this tier 2 spear or pikeman, right?
Yes, tier 2 polearms and like higher tier shock units are the things that deal the most damage. They might not be like the things that like result in the flashiest TPKs. Those are nymphs and mind control effects, because sometimes they just get lucky. But in terms of like nickel and diming, killing your army by 10,000 cuts, tier 2 polearms are really scary to fight against, actually.
Man, the stun is actually kind of amazing.
It's pretty
I
good.
mean, I really value anytime you can take away control from something. That's a pretty big deal in my books. But I don't think we're gonna lose anything.
Probably
think,
not. I think you got enough
think
here.
Because the storm spirits went on the archers there, I feel like we're safe now. I feel like had they not gone where they went initially, I feel like we were in trouble. But I do think we're gonna make it here. Oh, let's turn the speed up. Perfect. Look at that.
Dude, this is oh my god.
Clean.
This is so embarrassing for these guys.
So embarrassing for this AI.
Yeah, no, not for the AI. For these dudes, for these in particular guys, they had a strategy. We were gonna be guarding this location, and then someone was 15 minutes late, and like, it's just like everything was downhill from there.
All right, you're hanging. You might as well charge up and get.
Yeah, I think bring everyone together for the derelict workshop fight if you're gonna do that one.
Yeah, I think that's the goal. Personally,
because I suspect you're gonna get mana, in which case the troll fight should be really easy.
Yeah. Not really sure where we're going with this scout now. Like, I think.
Yeah,
like,
I think now
is,
you
like,
just kind of like walk
kind of
around and
just over here,
fog
I
bust. Yeah, you
That's
walk
about
around
it, I
until
feel like,
zombie.
In terms of where this scout's going.
I was on
something?
push to I was on push to talk again.
Oh.
Yeah, you just walk around and just like explore stuff. Like basically with an actual honest to god scout, this unit is not a real unit, and so who kills it and when doesn't matter. You just use it to fog bust and explore near your opponent's territory until they tell you to go away.
Gotcha. Put it out. Do we queue up a draft here for
your new city? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm 100% in for it. I'm so excited. You can have so many dumb awakeners. Like you have to have real units to put in front.
Actually.
But like, this is why I don't care about building Dusk Hunters, because like if you just find something to conquer, you don't need to build Dusk Hunters. You have better units.
For sure. All right. Well, that's turn 10. We've accomplished quite a bit in turn 10, honestly.
Yeah.
Would we lose?
We're also
Is actually kind of crazy. I'm gonna start pumping out some. How often do you hurry production on buildings?
So it really depends, actually. If it costs you 10 gold to buy out the remainder of an academy that gets you 20 knowledge, then you're insane to not buy it out there, right? Like, that's criminal. You should not do this. But it really depends on what you're looking at. So here, you could give them the money, at which point you'll have a very friendly free city to recruit heroes off of. How frequently do you recruit your heroes off of free cities?
Heroes, honestly, as a like OCD thing, I don't know what you call it. I like keeping my race together. I don't know, it's so bad. It sounds so bad when I say it like that. But like,
almost everyone starts where you are. There's a lot of value to that because the heroes that are your race get all of their race transformations.
Exactly. Yeah.
The downside is that the free city heroes, when you recruit them, they'll start at much higher level. Yeah. So it's a complex trade-off, and I think it actually depends on, is your strategy xenophobic or xenophilic? So like some things like mists and Tome of Construct play better with things that are either like-minded or not like-minded. Like Tome of Construct says everyone has to be linked minds, so you'd have to do 2 racial transformations. Whereas if you're just like High is actually a very xenophilic strategy. They're very good at just like taking whatever is standing around and incorporating them. But your gold is probably going towards your Awakeners anyway. Is the like
too, so.
Just half of the time, 2/3 of the time, it's whatever is going on the board rather than having a basic heuristic of what to do always.
Yeah. Alrighty. We're here. Can he even get in? He cannot, actually. His Dawn Defender's not in.
Oh no. Well, I don't think that's going to set you back too far here, because you do have still a full 6 for the Derelict Workshop fight. Is your hero still only level 4, though?
But we do have damage.
Yeah, we have a wait a second. Yeah, I think Attunement Starblades is going to do extra damage for you here. That's probably worth it.
It helps at least something.
This fight I'm much more worried about than the other one, because I think here because your units are damaged and you do not have mass rejuvenation, your options are pretty limited. So I would move these guys to reinforcement range, like max from the Derelict Workshop. Your main stack.
Like the big stack, yeah.
Yeah, move them to like the southwest corner reinforcement range, and then.
But don't you want them to be? They'd be in the thing, so they wouldn't heal.
Yeah, unless they can they get through to the other side?
You're talking.
They could get through to there, but I guess it doesn't really save you movement points. What we're gonna do is probably set ourselves up for next turn to start the fight with the Tide Spirit and get your other unit into that range too.
In there?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think he'll reach better from here? Probably.
I think it might actually reach better from that stupid mountain. I think that genuinely might be like, I think that might be enough movement here, right? Like you get one extra tile that way. I think that's inside range. I think you did it.
The mountain, baby.
Yeah.
All right. I'll just go take a peek right inside his territory.
There's also another Astral Dew right there, and that's even closer than the Astral Dew that was on the bottom of the map. So if you were to, play through to the end, then you would probably take the Archon Blood and then just conquer that free city as your source of Astral Dew here, honestly.
Yeah, okay. It is hero stage too. Would we consider sending a hero out to plop whatchamacall on it?
You could, but you won't get the resource immediately, because you have to clear it, right? That's why we don't have our Tranquility Pool right now. But you should think about another hero. What heroes are available here? Because you have a gazillion gold. It's probably only level 1s, which is why I think we might want to look for the Ancient Wonder hero instead. Defensive Encouragement is pretty good if you can.
I don't think I've ever seen that one, honestly. Or maybe I didn't notice it.
It's That one in particular is really good with AoE, like level 4 signature skills. Mass rejuvenation is disgusting on that thing. But there remains the opportunity to get your hero from the Ancient Wonder that you can clear for free.
Yes. You're right.
But you also are really far away from that, aren't you?
Yeah.
And there's nothing in the northeast or anything, is there?
This wouldn't be bad to. Oh, in the northeast.
There's no Ancient Wonder under anywhere.
No, doesn't look like it. The closest one is
the
Lone Tree to us.
Yeah,
right now.
And that one's not really clearable for free. So yeah,
we could like get a couple more units, get the hero, and they could start clearing this direction towards that. Or no, you think that's good?
No, I think that's 100% correct. I think get your defensive master hero probably, and then you'll just get the undead hero as your third hero. It's unfortunate that this is starting at level 1, and it would be nice if you had a friendly free city to hire off of. But because your faction is like specifically designed to be good for auto combat, it'll help you out.
Would we like Dawn Defender? Would we hurry whatever this is so we can move out now, or just?
I think you can just take a Dawn Spear here in that city, so that you have a little bit of higher tier frontline stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dawn Spears are pretty good. And then
you keep saying Dawn Spear. Does it change to a Dawn Spear? It's Daylight.
Oh, Daylight Spear. Daylight Spear.
There is a Dawn Spear though, isn't there? Or no?
Probably not.
Yeah,
I don't.
Like
you'll notice this more and more. I don't read anything.
I actually feel like there is though. That's why I was asking. Okay, what are we doing for
reading
now?
reading is impossible. I don't know actually. Lightforge is a very strong option here, I
say we should fix my mana problem, but that's just me.
I think unless you don't hit mana on that Derelict Workshop fight next turn, you won't want the shrine. It'll just be wasted production. If you don't get it there, then you can potentially pick it up. But like,
it's crazy to my brain.
There's so much mana available on the board. Lightforge is a really powerful ability. Academy is a really powerful ability, and for high in particular, you have a even further weird stuff, because you actually would want to build a tavern if you felt like you could just pick up the boost really quickly, and you already have one farm down, right? So I think here, honestly, I would recommend start the tavern. You don't have to click the attract population. You'll next turn you'll get a population. You can pick up the gold mine, and then it'll give you all of the stuff as though you had the boost to begin with.
Gotcha. This is what, a turn?
One turn. Your mana economy is about to get a lot better once you've picked up a tier 3 free city.
Yes, 100%. Hopefully they have all the mana things built already, you know?
They have a lot of infrastructure as a tier 3 at least.
You can do weird stuff when you're high.
Yeah, you sure can.
Alright. Okay, so our capital has now gone out. We were going to grab a farm here.
Yeah, any farm, but I do think the one to your north, or if you wanted to use the one that has the food on it actually to the east, that could also be a good one.
To the east?
Yeah, there's that one. If you're super concerned about getting to tier 3 like at Town Hall, and you're not sure if you're gonna have gold, that's when you can consider the boosts as being particularly useful. But also you're high, so your population's gonna grow really quickly, so getting even more might not be a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I kind of think too. I kind of think the farm, that's where my heart
you can take the best thing here is you can take that farm, get the boost, and then immediately switch it into a forester.
Interesting. So we got it, and now you would just swap it.
Yeah. You don't lose the boost, and now you've rotated into something that's a more useful tile type.
So let's say the production on the tavern was 4 turns, right? Would I lose the boost?
Yes, that's so. If it's a great question, yeah.
I was like that seems important. We got it, a new
city.
You did it. What's this city called, chat? We need a smart, intelligent name. Okay, let's see. Oh my. Yeah.
Okay, so it says it's gonna take forever. but this is a
9
fixable
turns.
problem on a lot of different dimensions. First, of course, you can cast your draft spell. That's going to triple the amount of draft in that city. It's going to go from 25 to 50.
Very nice. Okay.
So it's down to 3 turns.
Was the best suggestion I got.
Pee pee
for
poo
that.
poo. That's definitely the smart
the
thing.
best suggestion.
Oh, my guys say the subreddit r/I am very smart, which is like I am very smart. Pee pee poo poo. r/pee pee poo poo.
Smart. No, and we'll even.
Oh no, slashes are not.
Oh, no.
They're invalid characters.
R beep beep poo poo smart. Perfect.
Perfect.
Great name. Great name. Find YouTube and Twitch. Finally allies.
So on Pee Pee Poo Poo Smart, you can increase the draft even further, right? Like this is going to be down to 3 turns.
Jeez, that's disgusting.
This is, yep, you went from 25 draft to 75. So you're gonna make probably 2 or 3 of them. You don't need hundreds because they are not frontline units, but you can make 1 right now, and you can probably start working on a light forge here.
Would we wait? How often do you boost a unit? Only if under attack, kind of?
If by buying it out, it provides enough economic value that it pays for itself back, which is.
Would you queue this back up, or would you? I mean, I guess it doesn't. You might as well.
I think it matters. Like here, I might want to hold it just to keep the thrall, so that way, in hopefully brief time, we can start thralling people away for knowledge.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a tricky one. Yeah.
I forgot we're here.
Yeah. What was the second tome here?
What was the second tome? Hold on. It was Zeal.
It was Zeal?
No, it was not Zeal. It was Tentacle.
Was it?
Was
I think it was Tentacle because we wanted to
it
try
was
out the
Tentacle.
Labyrinth for the positive stability. I still think
that's what it
that's
was.
worth thinking about. Although retaliating growths is a lot worse in Autoresolve, so unfortunately you probably should not research that until you're ready to do a manual.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think it was Tentacle, so let's go there and kind of see what it turns into, and we can adjust. Like, obviously not this run, right? But like,
Yeah.
I think that's fun.
I think high is the only culture that generically cares about positive stability, but it does really care about it.
We are about to have Awakeners. Does it make sense to get Constricting Force?
I think so here. Yeah, I think without the Awakeners, I would 100% be for Constrictor, but you have an AoE ability that Constricting Focus will apply to, because this does not. Oh no, it says base magic attacks, but it's still extra damage in the form of
For sure.
farming people down.
Yeah, for sure. I still think it's worth it. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
What we got? They always seem like they're so empty. Of course,
Yeah.
they didn't have a shrine here.
They typically don't have a lot of stuff built, and you have to like
they don't.
fix their tiles too.
Yeah.
So here, for instance, that quarry ruins, you can just dismantle that. You could try. You have enough mana or enough gold to repair it, but dismantling takes the same number of turns and doesn't cost you 50 gold. So,
Oh my
like,
God,
there's
I never knew that was a thing. I'm gonna be honest. I never realized I could not pay gold. Oh my
This is
God,
why
that's a
people,
game
like-
changer.
they'll panic about like, oh my god, somebody's burning down one of my tiles, but like if they're literally only burning down one of your tiles every 3 turns, that effectively costs you nothing.
Yeah. Just
Because
don't
this
pay
is
5 head.
yeah, just don't pay for it. Just like let them burn it down the whole way. Here you absolutely probably want to take a light forge here, because this is the city that's building all of your awakeners.
Yeah, makes sense.
You'll want to pick up a library too, but
Would we,
it's more, what's going on right now.
argument's sake, would we spend 18 Imperium to get another quarry right now to get the boost on the Light Forge?
No, because it doesn't matter. You're gonna get you're gonna get a population next turn, and then in 3 turns that quarry ruins will disappear, and then you get the second quarry and you'll get the boost, and then it doesn't and then you'll get everything as if you had the boost the entire time. Like you can as long as, huh?
How much does the boost actually give? 30%.
30%.
Construction cost including the gold cost.
Yeah, so but it'll refund you the gold. So like,
yeah, that's cool.
As long as you get the boost while the building is building, it doesn't matter if you had it to begin with, like
yes,
at all. And so there's no reason to delay it as long as you think you're gonna get the boost while you're working on it.
We're no longer the race keeper. Uh-oh.
It's because you exterminated them. Don't tell anybody.
Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, there's a road right there. I should have stayed on it. That is not winnable.
No, you should not take fights with fewer than 4 units ever, pretty much. But you can still explore haunted halls, and you can set up an outpost there too. Not on the outpost, but yeah, like anywhere you could set up an outpost nearby would allow you to exploit the haunted halls once you've cleared it.
I mean, we probably wouldn't want to put it in this.
I wouldn't put it inside the infestation.
Yeah, here would have been gold.
No, there's also gold just like directly north of you. You can just go back 1 tile. Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Like that, the spider one. You can just make one there and then just use that. That's fine.
All right, so we're going in here.
Ooh, you have
scary.
one more unit you can pull in, can't you?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't need to move there. Move them to the edge that's closest to your new city, right? So that way, if they need to heal, they can move back.
Run right back in. Yep.
So it's going to be probably no. I don't think that's quite inside. It's reinforcement 3.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2.
So I think it's safer actually if you were reinforcing from that northeast of there, because that's outside of reinforcement range. It's like there. Well, so that it can, if it takes damage, then your unit could move back to heal. It can do it either way from this tile, but if we were oriented north, north south, then 2 steps northwest of there, is closest to your inside territory. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So
like as long as. Exactly, but where you are now is fine with that individual because you can still do it, but like which tile you're reinforcing from matters just as much as just doing the reinforcement period, because it's going to influence where you can run to heal, which is one of the main reasons you want to be reinforcing.
All right, are we ready for this?
Do it.
All right.
You didn't raise no coward.
Let's manual this bad boy. This is a scary one. We could lose it all, I believe, though.
So you are gonna have some issues here with the scrap hermits in particular, because they're scary. But I think you will win. I would be really surprised if you don't. And even if you lose like a Dawn Defender or 2, you know what you're working on right now?
Yeah, Awakeners.
You're working on Awakeners. You lose 1 or 2 Dawn Defenders, it does not matter. It's a good trade.
All right, believe chats. Oh, there's vegetation here too. I wasn't sure how much there would be in this map.
Why is there vegetation in a derelict workshop covered in acid?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I don't care. It's good. I'll still eat it.
I like the positioning of these guys way over there.
Yeah, there's no easy way to get scrap hermits. You can get them from like Tome of Beasts. That's usually a pretty easy way to do it. But yeah, it's easier said than done.
Weed and acid. Name more an iconic duo. You're right. You're right. We take it all back. This fits perfectly.
This is all on theme.
Yeah.
So like you might lose that, but that storm, that Tide Spirit, you've put literal 0 effort on, right?
Mm-hmm. He's been the explorer. I actually thought that was my Storm Spirit for a second.
Oh yeah.
Oh. We might lose both these actually.
You might. It's possible.
Boy. good. They're in the whatchamacallit? Okay. This is gonna be a tough one. Let's crank this up though. We don't need to speed.
Yeah, we can just. I'm sure they'll make good progress here. The AI loves killing stuff. They love killing stuff, even when it's not advisable for them. They still love killing stuff. So yeah, you're gonna probably lose both of your summons.
No.
That's fine.
What rank was he?
He was, I think, silver rank. Like, he was not close to evolving. Yeah. Yeah, we do need Tome of Crab. Like, we've been waiting for so long for Tome of Crab. So, like, when you do these more complicated fights, the most important thing isn't how much you lose, it's what you lose. Like, if you lose the support unit in this fight, that's way worse for you than if you lose all of your Dawn Defenders. It's still not, like, ideal to lose all your Dawn Defenders, but it's way worse for you if you lose your Sun Spirit, or your Sun Priest here.
It looks like we're gonna be successful, but I do think we paid a hefty price. Ooh, this is a little bit sus.
This is fine. This is what happens when you take a silver infestation fight without a with like 6 units and no blizzard.
Uh-oh. I'm a little stressed. I think we're okay now, but like I love that our Eldritch Sovereign can eat plants.
Yeah. It's like this horrible eldritch monstrosity coming from the astral realm, but is like just really big into vegetarianism and the health benefits.
Did you see the camera there? Like, I moved it a little bit, but then it just like got completely weird.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have a mouth. He absorbs it into his brain, just like how you would do weed. Okay, that's why he's smoking. You see it? All the black fumes coming out of him. Yes, exactly.
Beautiful. Okay, so here, given the units that you've lost, I think actually you probably want to pull your other hero and that other support unit north, so that way they can help you with the troll fight. But I think, like, after the troll fight, I think you probably, hopefully, have learned a lot. Like, I think that's a good place to pause. But basically, the most important patterns that I think people miss out on when they're used to just playing in single player, to, like, put it into a couple of words. Here, this is fine. Like, it's not ideal to be losing a bunch of units in random fights, but this was not a random fight. This was a big fight on a silver infestation, which had a ton of experience points.
So let's think about this logically. This was free, so we won't count that. This was 60 gold. This was 60 gold. If we really want to break it down into
it's like 120.
Stage, and the Storm
and that was
free with.
That was your start. Yeah, both of those were free. So it was like 120 gold.
A little bit more if you want to, but
there's a little bit of draft in there, but yeah, you got 85 mana. Like you almost always get. Yes. So your other hero, for instance, here, you could have a pretty busted hero, not from that, but the tier 3 weapon that you have.
Oh wait,
that's for your other dude. That's for your Eldritch Sovereign, but I think it's a tier 3, so I think it's actually worse. Check the damage on it.
24
Mind Spike, Fire Spike, Fire Rebuke. Okay, then that one's actually an upgrade, even though it's a lower tier. Sometimes you get higher tier and lower tier units or items that are better, but this one is better. Meaningfully so, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, it sacrifices the negative status, but I think the damage was worth it. I would swap it out.
How often does the Sovereign actually just attack with all the utility that they bring? I don't know about AI, but
it will do it on occasion. It just kind of depends on what it sees on the board. You don't sacrifice a physical, like a melee attack here, do you? For Fire Rebuke? I don't think you do.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think you can swap these out. Because the other thing is that this also gives you plus 40% crit chance. Crit damage. Yeah. Click confirm, and then it'll swap them.
Okay, I was like, what? What's going
Yeah,
on?
the game does lie about you, Anthony.
What are we going for now?
Because you got the mana
Yeah.
for Blizzard, I think you take Eldritch Influence too.
Okay. And now is this
And then-
+6 on top of the +4, so we're at +10.
It
now
should be.
from the Sovereign. Okay.
Yep.
We should see it in a second, anyways.
Yep.
Good.
So here, if you can get all of your dudes, including your other hero, into that fight for next turn, then I think you can get
wanna
that
heal.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't mean just that hero, but your ruler, but your hero.
Yes.
Right.
My other guy as well. Yeah.
I think they can still reach it though, because you're athletic. So everyone's just really fast.
Where the heck am I? I don't know. Actually.
No,
We'll
no,
get
it
back
doesn't
on the
look like
road.
it.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, you might have to wait one turn on that then.
Yeah. It's okay. Oh man, this guy is just expanding. You know what? Go away. All right. What are we thinking now? Are we ever buying the shrine? Oh my God, poor
I mean,
shrine.
now do you feel like you need to? Right? Like now your
No,
mana.
I guess you're right. You're right.
This
you're
this
right.
is
You know,
sort
we're
of my
back
point.
into-
Like
to be
once-
fair, like the city gave us that income again.
Oh, yeah.
Which refused, which like is my hurting thing, you know, which is where I was like stressed about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think so.
Like I think if you were trying to hyper optimize Tudor Town, I don't think you need to take Bathhouse now. I think that if you had your tier 3 town hall, then you could seriously consider it. But like, probably want an academy. Like it's
Yeah.
pretty good to get that research done.
Yeah.
And this is also only turn 12, and you'll have it done on turn
Yeah, This
15.
is pretty crazy. We have accomplished a lot in 12 turns. It's pretty wild, actually.
Oh, and you can even queue. You wanted to queue a blizzard there, but considering that you can't take the fight until next turn anyway, you can still queue it here. It's not a problem. I won't tell your mom.
Oh, hey, it's not even queued. We could have just done it. Could have instant casted it.
Yeah, we could have insta-cast it, but it's not just about, like, can you cast it this turn? It's about preserving and rolling the world map casting forward. But
100%.
it doesn't matter. You're fine.
No.
You'll be fine. You'll do fine.
So we'll just hang out.
Yeah.
The other army will push into there, and then these guys can start heading that way. Right? Does that make sense? Or
How
or do you think I
close-
should still
How close is that that spear guy to being done? Because you actually might have to buy rush that one, because you've lost enough of your Dawn Defenders that you might want one to stick in front. And these are there is a large model target for you to kill.
Yes.
But buy rushing the Awakener might be better. Is the downside.
The other bad thing is they're actually both the same amount of turns. Would they both?
Yeah.
He would have to be done a turn sooner though. So I could rush him like next turn.
I think you're probably actually going to buy rush the Awakener next turn and just fight it with
You think
6.
so?
I think that's probably what you're going to do.
Okay, I'm done. Yeah. Alright, so we can just.
Also, actually,
Oh god, I double.
yeah, line up. This is something that fortunately in multiplayer you don't have to worry about.
Yeah,
But I think you
unless
actually
you're
want to
last, I guess.
fight. Yeah, unless you're last. I think you probably want to fight from a specific tile for your trolls. I think this is one of the more difficult fights. Those more difficult fights are the ones where you want to do what you normally do, which is have just a blob of units and attack with a blob of units instead of individuals. This one, I would definitely want to try to fight with a blob.
You would.
Ooh, or you could do something stupid and busted. Let's do both. Let's do both as a sign off for the for the end of the stream.
Sure. I
What
like it.
what has 80 cost in terms of casting points? Blizzard. Guess what you have? You have 80 casting points, and you just double blizzard it. So it's not quite as good as double lightning torrenting because it doesn't stack the status resistance, but doing double blizzard is going to seriously shred these units and make it so that the fight itself is going to be pretty trivial.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what they're weak to. They're gonna take a
curious,
billion damage on the strategic layer, and then it's gonna make fighting them in their house so easy.
Kaboom. Kaboom.
So yeah, let's take a look at that. They're going to be
Half
starting the
health.
fight at half health. Yeah.
Okay.
You still probably want to clump everyone. I think there is correct. And then buy out your Awakener, I think. And then
someone told me that there used to be a disadvantage from having heroes in the same stack. Is that a thing?
That was true for like 3 weeks, and then people reverted
okay.
it because it just didn't do anything. Like, it was really easy to just break units off into individual stacks because you see the way that we manage armies. So it didn't do anything for competitive multiplayer, and it really annoyed single player people. So like, I'm happy to see it gone. It did nothing.
Wow. It's actually a pretty crazy. Does it take into account that their health is so low then?
Yes, it does.
It does? That's great.
Yeah, and that's why there's this massive disparity because of the double blizzard.
Yeah.
So we could watch this. It's gonna be a one-sided massacre.
Slay them all. This is
is
an interesting.
Wait.
Would we have chosen this though? We probably would have just told them to go away. Well,
I don't actually. This is how. Yeah. Well, are we at -5? God damn it, Age of Wonders 4. Tell us what alignment we're at. Why are you doing this?
Oh my god. That is such an oversight.
It's so trolly. I think here. I don't know.
We fight it for chat. But
Fight it for chat. Yeah.
I think if we did this, we would actually be still neutral. I think we're -5 right now.
I think you're right.
5.
Slay them all is definitely cooler though.
Yeah.
I think you are correct that I think actually the optimal thing to do there, if we hadn't used the blizzards, would have been to conscript them, because it's just a gigantic amount of production, and that was going to your capital. So where the resources is going matters just as much as what type it is, and your capital can use an infinite amount of production to build one, the tower or whatever. But here, fighting stuff is cool.
It looks good. Let's do it.
Fighting stuff is cool. It looks good. Yeah. Oh, we also probably should have given your secondary hero should definitely be using your tier 3 power weapon rather than a random staff, because you've had that thing just kind of like sitting around for a while.
Yeah, I think we have another like ranged one too. I feel like
this one for this particular fight, you would definitely want to have the melee tool instead, just because, again, look at the other units that you have in this composition. You have your hero or your ruler who's ranged, the awakener who is ranged, your two support units which are ranged. So this extra hero should definitely be on.
Thank goodness the AI is dumb enough that like they didn't try to go to like this square and that awakener. Yikes.
You're also just gonna kill everything.
It's true. Half health kind of matters.
Yep.
So this is a question to both chats. Did you kind of like this? I feel like I learned a lot. I wonder if those who are more inexperienced in chat learned a lot from this session. I'm curious to see like both chats. I feel like your chat's probably a little bit. Well, I don't want to talk crap about my chat, but like, I feel like they're probably better players in general.
I think they've probably watched more of my content, and therefore some of the things that I'm saying are probably less surprising.
Yeah, 100%. That was good though. I feel like we learned a lot off of this. We've gotten our tranquil pool. I feel like we're in a pretty great position.
Like, if this were a multiplayer game, and this were where I was on turn 14 or 15, I would feel pretty good. Like, the only thing that I'm really not feeling great about is the relative pacing on the leveling on our ruler, and sometimes that's just map dependent. Like, there weren't a lot of opportunities for you to pick up even more EXP on this ruler here. Part of it is also the map settings. To bring it back to the very beginning of it, people often underestimate how impactful the size of the map alone is when it comes to your economic growth, because most of your economic growth comes from fighting stuff, and if the map is really big and there's a lot of stuff to fight, you're gonna grow a lot further, a lot faster. So like, if this were a 3-player free-for-all and this were where we were, I'd be pretty satisfied.
Yeah. I think we've done great, especially for like a first, like, we've never done the build before. I think things worked out pretty good. we obviously got spawned in the middle of the map, but yeah, I think this is a great place to sign off.
Yeah,
So,
this was a lot of fun, Nemki. I'd love to do, you know, something equivalent or different with you in the future. I would be open to doing like a co-op stream, or even like using that weird manual option that they've introduced. You know about this one where people can play the backwards
the like skirmish thing or whatever.
Well, not skirmish. In the most recent patch, they made it so that now your opponents can hot seating. Yeah, like stepping in for the AI. That could be fun. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, we'll talk and we'll see.
Yeah.
As long as the chat's like us, hey, we'll just keep, you know.
Yeah.
we'll keep going. But I guess I'll say goodbye to your chat. So goodbye, chat.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys next time. And make sure both sides go follow Walker's YouTube. I will drop a link in my chat afterwards, and then you guys can return the favor here if you so choose.
Yeah. I put a link to Nemki's Twitch. I put a link to his Twitch, and also he's going to be on YouTube in the near immediate future. Yeah, see you, man.